Okay. YouTube. suppose I could actually talk to one viewer who's out there. Hello again, one viewer. I'm looking at the chat on the other end. I don't know who this one viewer is. Oh, hey, Kevin.
Hey, I can't really talk out loud, sorry.
That's cool. Chat away. Tappa, 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 tappa. Pardon me. Couldn't help but overhear. Oh, I'm really hoping I'm going to ask AGG to call me an anti-Semite. Because there's a reason why. No, I'm not going to whip out my penis. Yeah, no, I'm not Jewish. Although I suppose circumcision is not an effective indicator of Judaism. But no, I have something Israeli. Oh. Here we go. Oh. No. Okay, I'll spoil it. How familiar are you with the Israeli military?
Relatively.
Okay, you know their guns?
Yeah. Give it a go.
Yee. Yee.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love this gun. I don't shoot it half as much as I would like, but I'm in the U.S. Air Force, and yeah, they have me shooting M4s, and I fucking hate M4s because of gun nerd reasons. But yeah. Oh, I add them. Okay. Jesus shitting fucking Christ. Okay, that's... Okay, so do I direct Twitter message all of them? Or... Okay, you already messaged them all with all this. Okay, cool. I'm kind of sad that I'm... Oh, God. Can they just... Can you just mute them for, like... Oh, I'm kind of sad that at this point in Gamergate, I'm not even afraid of showing my face anymore. It's like, I don't even care. I haven't said anything particularly insane. Just like, eh. I say as SWAT guys bust in. Ah! Oh, God. But what do you make this really interesting? What? Whoa. It's so hideous on your end. No, that doesn't really help the lighting. Oh. I'm going to go make a drink real quick. Be right back in like 2 minutes. Thanks for following me on Twitter.
What's up, Bitter? Bitter. Bitter.
Hey.
Hey.
Check chat.
Yo. Hello.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think. I'm sorry. Say again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Okay. While they switch over, I'm gonna grab some coffee. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Okay.
There we go. New stream. Yeah, I made sure that's off. Sup, goobers?
Hello.
Ah, boy. Is this working?
Yep.
I can hear you. This ought to be
I
fun.
can hear you.
Yeah, but we lost the main person we were talking with, which was
John.
Or. Yeah.
He was
Something
planning on
like-
leaving anyways, so. Who's hosting anyways?
Bitter?
I can hear
Tyler.
you. Hmm. Yeah.
You can talk, you know.
Wow.
Dead silence.
Not much else to say at the moment.
No, I'm waiting for someone to say something interesting so I can dunk on them.
What's the stream about this time?
Oh, there's
I have
someone.
no idea at this point.
I think it's exactly the same thing.
I think it's cake and sodomy time. That's my opinion.
Well, I'm
All
going
right.
to leave
I have to
No,
admit,
I'm sorry, dunk on anti-GG today.
I have to admit, King, I'm incredibly interested. You said that, and I had gotten through most people, but you joined later. How did you find out about Gamergate?
I was there from the beginning.
No, but
I
there,
know for a
that's-
fact.
no, I
I know for
understand.
a fact.
No, I understand there from the beginning, but
He
So
wants to know
everyone-
where you got
everyone
your
found
information
out
from.
the information somewhere. What was your location for the information? So I found out the information from Reddit.
Well,
I found out from 4chan.
it was
Most specifically an IRC community that ends up being involved with 4chan. And they were talking about this issue, and I looked
No, right,
into
but I
it.
did you already. I want to know King.
Yeah.
okay. Well, for me, it had to have been IA's first video about the conspiracy.
So do
So
you
it's the first
regularly
few minutes.
watch IA's videos?
What?
Do you regularly watch his videos?
I stopped watching like almost a year before the conspiracy came out because I didn't really care for
Okay.
his style.
So that doesn't make a lot of sense. If you weren't watching his videos, how did you find that video?
Find it?
Because it was a big video that blew up.
No, but that's the
It
point.
blew up.
Everyone has a series of events that led them to find whatever it is they looked at. When you said it blew up, where were you looking that it blew up?
Interesting. I
Tumblr in
guess-
action myself.
No, no. It's just it was
Myself,
thumbs up by a few people. When I think about it, it was thumbs up by a few people. I wasn't actually looking for this thing. It really came on here. It really just showed up when I was just searching for random videos on the internet back in August, and then I watched it.
No,
I thought,
But you weren't watching his videos anymore.
not
So-
really.
So if his video randomly showed up on your list of things to, why would you have watched it?
Why would I have watched it?
Sounded interesting.
Well, the title was called A Conspiracy, which I thought was a joke. Then I started watching it, and it was an even bigger joke. I honestly would have just dropped the whole thing in less than a couple of days. So then people's discussions were being censored, and
No, but you weren't
And suddenly
reading
people-
those discussions, were you?
what?
You weren't reading those discussions, were you?
I found out about it.
Covered
Like,
it a moot point.
No, I think it's a very
Nebraska.
important point. I think it's a very
It's the
important point.
Streisand effect.
Okay, well, I get
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
No, but you see, you were a reader of Tumblr in Action.
No,
So
Yeah, myself.
yeah, I get how you found out. You're a reader of Tumblr in Action. Good. Problem solved. I am a Reddit drama whore. I understand how I found out. I understand how most everyone found out. But King seems to have stumbled across an Internet Aristocrat video randomly, even though he had stopped watching Internet Aristocrat a year earlier.
Okay,
And then-
suggested videos though. It goes off.
No, I know. And then he didn't care that much until he found out about all these discussions being censored. But how did you find out about all those discussions being censored?
Because it was blowing
No,
up.
let him
on
answer.
multiple
Let him
videos.
answer.
but
Sorry,
Let him answer.
Blowing up
This ought to be
isn't
good.
a how. I want to know
Hold on.
how you found out about it.
Guys, I've got to run to the store. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. I'm sorry.
hang on.
Goodbye, just a car.
I'm trying to remember exactly when the moment.
They're like forums that you read. And some of those forums might have talked about it. They're like people that you interact with on the internet, and one of those people might have told you about it. But someone told you that that there was all this terrible censorship going on. Where was that?
That's a tougher call. When I think about it, it's hard to remember, but I can only think of 3 things that let me notice. One, there was a part 2 video that he released a couple of weeks later. I think that may have had something. There was also the fact that I was hearing this on Twitter, although at the time I didn't join Twitter. See, I'm not really a big fan of social media itself.
There's no possible fucking way that someone who is not on Twitter would have been hearing about it on Twitter.
Yeah.
It all depends on what friends you've got.
Yeah. Well, no, like, so if you heard it on Twitter, but you weren't using Twitter,
That's what makes
is
it a little
that?
weird because
Yeah,
of how few
that's very
people
strange to
use
me.
those.
If that Twitter is being linked
But Bitter, I want to hear him say it. And I'm like, I don't want to
No, but-
speculate. I want to hear it.
All right.
Well, you can look through hashtags without actually joining
No,
Twitter.
but what hashtag
You
do you
just can't
possibly
respond to
looked
it.
at?
I could think of a couple.
Right,
I
but
think
I want to
there was
ask him.
conspiracy. I think.
No, I get it, guys, but
I think there was a conspiracy. There was a
There was.
conspiracy tag. I think.
why would you possibly have been searching for hashtag conspiracy in Twitter?
Really? I'm not
Who
sure.
Who admit
Here's
that?
the thing,
Possibly.
dude. Here's the
Right
thing. I
mind.
randomly search for regular crap all the time. I just spend the last few
Are
hours.
you sure that you're not like a 4chan regular or like a Reddit guy or something that just would make this a lot clearer to everyone?
Dude, I hate 4chan. I never joined a site. I never
Yeah.
even joined Reddit. I don't even join 8chan. I am just on Twitter, and I just have a
But
YouTube.
you aren't on Twitter because you weren't on until after Gamergate
He
started.
didn't post on Twitter.
No.
No.
You can Twitter as
wanna
something
bet?
to use. No, Twitter as something to use when you're not logged in does not provide people the ability to tell you about things. It just
No.
kind of
You have to go
is.
look for it.
Retweets,
You have to go look
dude.
for it.
Or look
No,
for a
but-
tag.
But why would you have looked for those things if you weren't looking?
What do you mean? I wasn't looking when the first video came up, but afterwards I started looking. How hard is that?
No, but now that you've said it,
He's
see,
wanting the initial. He wants the
Bitter,
initial
get
bit that
quiet
made
for
you
just like
look.
3 seconds.
All right.
King Tafari, what you hadn't said before was that you saw the first video, and then you got interested in what was happening, and then you went to Twitter and started searching for the conspiracy tag.
Is
Right.
that fair?
What?
Is that what happened? You saw
More
the
or
first
less,
video,
but-
you were like, this video makes me want to know more about this, and you just started looking for it. Is that fair?
Dude, let's make this clear. Until the 28th of August, most people thought it was either a joke, and the few people that were concerned about the appearance of impropriety between one journalist
We're talking
and
about
one.
what,
Yeah.
I'm talking about you.
We're talking about you. Sorry.
Oh. Well, like most people, I didn't really start getting angry at this whole thing until the end of August when they released those "Gamers Are Dead" articles.
So
Hell,
where did you? Which Gamers Are Dead article did you read?
read?
Yeah, which
Holy
one did you
crap.
read?
It's been 6 months, but
No, I
think
know.
I've read-
But one of
More
those
than
sites.
6.
No, but one of those sites. See, you still say that you still weren't involved in Gamergate at this point, according to you. So you
Not
read one of the Gamers Are Dead article, and you got really mad, and you had to do more work on it. Which Gamers Are Dead article? Which of those sites do you visit regularly? Did
Those
you
sites?
visit regularly? They published the quote Gamers Are Dead article.
Just to clarify, are we accepting synonyms of dead here?
Yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Okay, just want to, Because I don't want you playing semantic
this
fuck
is
fuck
not a
games
trap.
and saying,
It's not a
"That's
trap.
not dead."
We all know what those articles are. If he was a regular
It's just
reader,
a series. Yeah.
if he was a regular reader of Gama Sutra, I would understand it. If he was a regular reader of Kotaku, I'd be like, I don't know which article you read, but okay, you're a regular reader of Kotaku. But which of those sites were you a regular reader of that you saw a Gamers Are Dead article?
Okay, I'm just going to put an end to this right now.
Yep.
In 2012, I was a big fan of games journalism, and of course, I considered their reviews to be the standard. Then, they released a game with one of the shittiest endings ever made. And from that point onward, I rarely trusted them. Because it wasn't enough that they defended. Stop right there. It wasn't enough that they defended a really crappy ending, but then they called us entitled, and then they framed all of us as angry, straight, white guys.
So,
Totally.
There have been
can I
black
take
people
this?
and women gaming. Stop right there.
Yeah,
There have been
you know
black
where we
people-
are.
Stop
Yeah, I
right
want to take
there.
this.
There have been black people and women who've been gaming for years. There has never been a real cultural problem. I've never experienced any racism coming into the gaming community, and I have never experienced any kind of name-calling in the gaming community. And anything that you might use as an example is nothing more than trash talk.
But to be clear,
name
you
one
can
person-
only take it if you redirect it
I'm not
to.
done. I'm not done. I'm not done. Name one person who's been any way criticized or prosecuted for any of the trash talking that's been happening online. Most of what you guys are arguing about is about mean comments. Mean comments. That's what you people have been arguing about this
Could you please
whole
answer the
time.
question, King?
And what's the question again?
Okay, so the question that was asked was, which site, like, how did you come across the Gamers Are Dead articles? How did you hear about them? Because presumably, if you kind of lost interest in gaming journalism after the Mass Effect 3 ending, like, did you keep reading one of the sites? Did you read Gama Sutra after that? What led you to discover those articles?
Oh, that's easy. When you searched conspiracy, some of those articles actually showed up. See, in the earlier
So you were
days,
searching conspiracy.
So you were regularly
that was-
searching Quinspiracy as a result of the first Internet Aristocrat video.
pretty much, and every day
Okay.
there was always new.
Well, that was the question.
The first Internet Aristocrat video was about a woman's sex life. It wasn't about ethics in gaming journalism at all.
To quote, I don't care if Zoe Quinn fucked 5 guys. That's the quote of the video. End of that. It's the end. I mean, once you see that quote, to even attempt to make it seem like it's about the personal life is
Hey,
ridiculous.
King Tafari, I'm going to lead you on a little conversation real quick.
All right,
I don't
all right.
care if you're a racist, you racist son of a bitch.
I'm not a racist.
Well, I don't care.
I'm not a
He
racist.
doesn't
I don't
care,
care.
you racist.
I don't care if you're a racist, but you're a
Okay.
racist.
Okay.
Excuse
That's
me?
pretty much the style of argumentation that Ag has been doing, by the way.
Do you understand the point
No,
here? Is
man.
that just saying I don't care about this thing doesn't really negate the fact that the rest of the video was about a woman's sex life.
The
No,
rest
it was
of the
about
video
the
wasn't
connection.
entirely
No,
about it.
as I recall,
The
he
title
goes
was
into-
about
It involved it though.
no.
Don't get it twisted. It did
No,
involve
he
it.
goes into
But it was
10
not only about
years
one or the other.
I'm not saying it was only about that one thing, but it was very much about that thing.
No, first.
Even then, it was
No,
only
no,
partially about it.
that thing.
Okay, first he discusses the 5 people. Then he cuts off the other 2 because he was only interested in the 3. And then out of the 3, he displayed one which he had a moral objection to. That one person, of course, was someone who was particularly in a relationship with someone else.
So
But
what you've just
he
described
cut
is a
that
video
off
about a
because that
person's
wasn't the
sex
matter
life.
either. He focused on one
You
person.
just
and
described
that
the video
one
about a
person's
person's sex
work-
life. You just went into how it goes about her sex life.
No, he narrowed
That is
it down
true,
to
though.
one. You're not listening to me. He narrowed it down to one person, Nathan Grayson, and then he spends the next few minutes talking about the connections between Nathan Grayson and Zoe Quinn.
So
and
what
then
about the
after
minutes previous to that?
And then after that, he discusses the next connections between those people into things like Rebel Jam, Game Jam, and of course the incident involving Wizard Chan. By
Okay.
the way, no.
Okay.
By the way, have you
No.
ever heard of the Wizard Chan and event?
You're being overly
Look
emotional.
at what happened with Wizard Chan.
You're getting pretty far away from the point.
No, it's not. What
Yeah.
happened with
The
Wizard Chan
point
angered
is-
me more than anything else.
Oh, so what could you describe in your own personal words what happened to Wizard Chen and what you did to verify that information?
Excuse me? You want me to send you a link Do you
No,
want
no,
the
no.
link?
Your personal words.
No, use your words
You-
to tell
you
me
do
what
that.
got you so mad about what happened to Wizard Chin, and then what you did to verify that you're not completely full of shit.
Okay, let's
I want
start.
you to
okay,
do it
what?
because I could end up blowing you out of the water.
Okay, first, let's just start out right there. First, the events of Wizard Chan was basically simple. It's a similar event where one person was claiming harassment and blaming it on that particular site. That site was full of people who were suicidal, lonely people. And they basically were blamed for attacking and harassing someone. And there's tons of proof out there that those people were not involved in that particular harassment at all. But it
What
didn't
proof?
matter. They were smeared by the press.
What
Hell,
proof?
You want
What proof?
talk to
What
the
proof,
escape-
King?
Talk to the
What
escape
proof?
right now. You want
What
proof?
proof?
You
What
want,
proof
you,
is
want,
there?
you want the link? You want the link
No,
to
I
the
want to know what
story?
proof there is.
What?
What
I
proof
want to
is
know
there
what
that
proof there is.
you just said there was proof
Oh
that they
my
didn't do it?
God! It's called the escapists. They apologized to what happened and basically admitted that they took this particular person at their word when discussing it. I mean, there's proof everywhere. I can
You-
send you the links.
Could you discuss one
Could you
version?
at least say the name of the person that said it? Come on. Please say
Oh.
the name.
Oh, the person that made the claim
That made the claim. Come
of
on.
harassment? Oh,
No. The person that you would derive your proof from. Please say the name. Come on. You can do it.
Oh, the person who provided the link? Of the,
Come
of
on. You can do it.
IA.
No.
Because there was a link in the conspiracy
All right.
video.
No, I'm going to correct you on this one. She had made claims that she was being harassed by the site Wizard Chan. Based off of 2 posts, she made a story that she was being raided by Wizard Chan.
Yes.
Now,
like
Greg
when-
Tito, in that particular article that he had made in December, had made claims that she was being harassed by Wizard Chan. But, as was discovered during the conspiracy, he had admitted he did not do the necessary fact-checking. That is what led to the ethical change in The Escapist and resulting Defy Media.
Yes,
Sorry.
basically what I say, but
None
not,
of this.
That is not
none
what
of
you
this-
said. That's
Sorry.
why I wanted to
Sorry,
point
I
this out.
guess I'm a little bit confused. Someone said they had proof that something about Wizard Chan, something, and then
Now,
people
as far
talked
as-
about a whole bunch of other things that were
Exactly.
certainly not proof of anything.
Now, as far as there is no objective proof, there is
Oh, okay.
another
Just-
side
okay,
to it,
thank you.
though.
Just so I understand, there is in fact
There's-
no proof
no,
of
wait,
anything
there
related to
is
Wizard
one.
Chan at all.
No, there is some.
Okay.
There is one other side to the story, which was one of the former admins, which you may know
Who was
as
that
Hot
guy?
Wheels,
Oh, okay.
which you may know as Hot Wheels,
Yeah.
has also made claims that she was full of it because he had gotten in contact with the admin of that particular site, and he made
Sorry.
a rather extraordinary claim that
Adrian,
yes,
a slight fact correction. He actually was an admin there formerly.
he was, but
then
not
he
at
had
that
to
time.
pull. Okay, just
That's why I said former admin.
So the proof, just so I can summarize the proof
I'm not
for
done
you.
yet.
No, but I think I knew it because I did already. The proof is that Hot Wheels said, and Hot Wheels is a very trustworthy source because he would never totally invent anything at all.
And he
Hot
fucked
Wheels,
up, by the way.
Hot Wheels said that he believed this person who told him this thing. And Hot Wheels is absolutely not the guy who would say to someone else who told him something that it was absolutely
I'm
true,
not
even
making
though
that
it was
claim that it's proof.
completely full of shit.
I'm not the one making that claim.
Okay, so
I'm just saying that there's more than one side to that particular
is
issue.
Hot Wheels an
That's
individual who says that he has confirmed things when they are absolutely and
He
completely
certainly
false?
has done that. Remember,
Yes.
King of Pole.
Checking.
I verified it.
He verified it, and he's the only source. He's the only source of verification for this. Zoe Quinn was her own Wizard Chan harasser story. Is that accurate?
Here's a hint. Yes.
Yes,
Not quite.
man.
You
Well,
could
I
also
mean-
ask Glaive himself.
Oh, so we could ask the person whose board is accused of harassing her to say that it was totally not them, but it was actually her harassing herself. And he,
Yeah, that wouldn't be very good itself.
No,
but here was
no.
the interesting bit.
yeah.
The interesting bit was that there was no actual proof on either side, yet they ran with the story anyways.
Okay, yeah, but that's fine. That's not what we're talking about. I
Excuse me?
guess what you said, King, was that you had proof that something Wizard Chen, and I think your proof might just be Hot Wheels verifying what someone else told him as absolute and entire fact when he is a known person that makes shit up out of thin air.
but you still need to maintain that specific statement was bullshit made up out of
No,
thin air.
because
No, I don't.
Bitter.
Yes, you absolutely
He has
fucking
proof.
do.
Bitter, listen, please. King
Sorry,
he's
Arthas
right in that
said
particular
he has
sense.
proof, right? Bitter, you
Keep in
heard
mind,
it, right?
he's using that as an example that he's already lied before, and thus it will invalidate his statements also made. That's what he's
Last I
trying to
checked,
get
I
at.
thought it was King of Pole lying to Hot Wheels.
Kangapol did lie to Hot Wheels, but Hot Wheels took it at face value, just like Greg Tito took Zoe Quinn's words about Wizard Chan harassing her and raiding her at face value and reported on it.
Yep. So, but that's not the point. The point was that King said he had proof about something, something, something Wizard Chan, and he doesn't.
Pretty much. That much I'm in agreement with.
So I'm glad that we're all on the same page and that King doesn't actually have proof that something, something, something Wizard Chan.
Pretty much.
Excuse me? No.
You don't.
No.
I know what you're trying to get at. I know what you're trying to get at. You have those tweets. Unfortunately, no one archived it during those days. Therefore, it is not good enough. It's just screenshots. And everyone here knows how easily...
I'll doctor a screenshot for you right now. You're racist.
Thank you. Which is why I have a particular image that's almost completely sourced, involving an earlier narrative involving not your shield are full of sock puppets. I think y'all remember that particular narrative.
I do.
You guys actually saw the
Yes,
what
I
was it,
saw the
GitHub
article.
thing, right?
I saw her particular piece.
You saw the
I also know that she runs in the same circles as one of the people that ended up manufacturing that particular
Sorry,
evidence.
you guys seem to define this runs in the same circles as friends with very differently than I do. So
Yeah.
when you say runs
Okay, they are
Wait,
both
wait, hold on,
members
hold on,
of
hold
a
on,
group
hold on.
called Weird Twitter. Do you know what Weird Twitter is?
I do, and it doesn't count as runs in the same circles. It's actually a very wide group with people who don't know each other at all.
Okay, then you can explain how this particular individual not only knows Zoe Quinn, but knew and kept in contact with a variety of the journalists that have been shitting on Gamergate.
Yeah, you use knew and kept in contact with in a very different way than the rest of the world does. So
Yeah.
you could be more specific
Yes,
on
the
that.
Gators don't actually know how to function in normal society like the
That's-
normal people.
It's
That's
pretty clear
actually
Children doesn't.
yes,
You
that's
probably know.
correct.
Are we serious?
Yeah.
Guys, no.
Okay,
Let's go back
I
for
will
a
define
moment.
it as in keeping in contact with one another.
How would what?
That's very broad and
So
not.
what you're saying is every so often they exchanged messages through an electronic format.
That they have, yes, they
So
know
when
one
you
another.
say, do I
Keep in
regularly?
mind, she has used his specific evidence in her cracked article.
Yeah, sure, but that means that I keep.
They
in
knew
contact
each other
with
to that
literally-
point that she would use his specific evidence in that cracked article.
Your
That's
idea of
good
keeping
enough for
contact
you,
is
or is
way
that
too
not?
broad, Bitter.
The number of people that I keep in contact with. Just
Do
thinking
you
about it.
use people's evidence in your articles?
Well, I don't write articles, but I don't see how people who I exchange email with, cannot be used as sources.
All right then.
I mean, like emailing someone is something you do with sources. You email them and
Give me
you
a
say,
minute.
It's like
Hey,
I've sent so many
here's my
messages to Bitter,
source.
but like, Bitter and I aren't close or anything.
There you go.
What? We're not close?
I know it's pretty surprising, but we're not.
Hey,
You and I don't get
we
along.
can at least maintain civility.
not Gators, but not a Gator, but number one with Gators, bro.
Dude, I'm gonna jump out a fucking window if you
You're
keep
my
saying
only
that.
consolation, Sea Lion. You will always constantly
Okay.
over here. I'm sorry,
I
I'm done
wish this
shitposting.
one was clearer
Yeah.
though. I'm a lazy fucker, and I really should clean that particular image up.
Oh my God, there's so many red fucking lines. Okay, what am I even looking at now?
Oh God, what is this?
This was from someone
Oh,
called
Jesus Christ,
Big
dude.
Girl
This is
Iris.
I love this. Oh my god, this is
Why?
making my gator boner so hard.
Well, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking at. Could you just tell me what the key feature is here?
The key
One
feature
sentence.
is that the person that they relied on to provide evidence that Not Your Shield was full of sock puppets, one, is a known troll. Two,
Oh, yeah.
has engaged in photo manipulation.
hold on one second.
himself.
Do you believe that there were a substantial number of fake accounts in, quote, Not Your Shield?
No.
Do you believe that there were any fake accounts in Not Your Shield?
Yes, I believe there are fake accounts. Just
You
not the
believe-
way that was
Do
claimed.
you believe that there was a coordinated effort to create fake accounts and add them to Not Your Shield?
In terms of smearing it, yes.
Okay. In terms of smearing it, yeah. Oh, so you're saying that actually it was a false flag operation.
I've returned.
You say it was
And
a
I am pointing
David, what do you have to say about the
was
GitHub?
openly
There's
bragged
directions
about
on how to make
having
accounts.
multiple sock puppets.
I don't
and
even
citing
understand
that
what I'm
particular evidence that was used in the resulting articles to claim Not Your Shield is full of sock puppets, who has been known to photo manipulate.
I'm so confused. So could you
This
explain to me? Could you explain to me why the fact that this person was the one that found everyone using tin eye fake pictures is an issue?
Because that person uses sock puppets themselves and likely are those sock puppets.
Wait, David, I just want to
No,
interrupt
that
real quick.
second thing
Guys,
is it,
there's 150,000 people who use Gamergate. Fine.
No, this is before the
no,
150,000.
but I'm confused. The second thing uses sock puppets. It doesn't make. I don't see why you are led to believe that these would be her sock puppets.
Is
Whatever. I don't even care. His sock puppets. Why would you believe that? Especially given that some other random person apparently. I don't even know what this. I hate these red line pictures. Like, why couldn't this be written in text?
yeah, I wish.
Because primarily
You're on
it's a
stream, you could
means
just
of
explain this
conveying
out
the
loud.
information.
It is an overindulgence of
Wait,
information. It
David,
kinda
this
sucks.
first red link, okay? So what you've got here on the left is these things that are being retweeted by Jane Russler, right?
Which
Well,
is
it's-
a girl IRL.
Well, that's not in the screenshot. Okay, so in that screenshot, when it says retweeted by Jane Russler, her name is not that. It's made 32K since June.
Well, at the time, and admittedly,
And this is also in a picture of
what'd
these
you do?
queens. Zoe
That
Quinn's-
is the same person. Which
But
is
this is in a picture of
girl
Zoe Quinn's
IRL.
Twitter account. Like, this is her Twitter account with retweets made by a girl IRL.
That was actually
Laid into
retweeted
it.
by Tom Quinn. That was Quinspiracy. Anyway.
Okay, so she retweeted this stuff. Oh, she retweeted a picture that
She
was a girl
retweeted
IRL who had a picture. Well, what makes you think that picture was the picture that a girl IRL had there? Like,
Because it was used in
Did she
That's a
take that
Cracked
picture?
article.
did
5
she make that
things
picture?
I learned as the internet most.
No. Did a girl?
A girl IRL did to that picture, yes.
Are you sure? Because I mean, I don't see that name Jane Russler anywhere here.
they're contending that was an end result of a girl IRL's manipulation.
Right, but I mean, that's not in this picture.
But none of the only thing
It is in
that
it.
I think the only information that actually comes out of this picture is a girl IRL is the individual that found the Tyrese James fake Not Your Shield account and the Natasha Soderberg fake Not Your Shield account. Is that fair?
That is claimed to
far,
have found it,
two.
yes.
No, never
No,
mind.
no, but-
Two.
But I don't want to go back and figure out how many of them were fake. That's less interesting than and
It's less
and then-
interesting because you can't prove that most
No,
of them aren't.
look. I don't want to go through tin eye a bunch of them. But the fact of the matter is that everyone knows that a bunch of them were fake.
A bunch.
And-
No.
But what I'm contending-
Don't make conclusions unless you have evidence to
Okay.
support it.
King
What
Taffy,
I'm
I have to do have
contending,
evidence.
though,
King.
was that some of
Only
them
two.
were from a girl IRL.
No, you don't have
No.
that. What leads you to believe that to be true?
Because that is a common tactic of would-be trolls.
Okay, but you said that you knew they were her, and that you don't.
You think that it's her. You don't even know who her is.
I don't. It's a girl IRL. I don't care who it is.
Of course you don't.
Why
Because
would
you
I?
don't know better. Because this particular person has been doing this sort of trolling for a while.
What leads you to believe that?
Due to digging.
No.
Oh, digging. Wow.
I got it.
What a response.
You kind of asked for that.
So you put all.
That sounds
sensitive
called an
help.
ironic stance.
I got it. You put all these red. You put all these red lines in this thing, but at no point do you show how she's been doing this for anything longer than. I don't even know. Never. There's absolutely no information about a girl IRL in your red line picture.
Just a moment. I just need to calm down. That was funny.
No,
No, I mean, this is very serious.
there's
Is that
no
I actually,
information about a girl IRL. I'd love to know that I am completely wrong about, quote, Not Your Shield. because my impression of it is that there are a lot of people who got duped into joining it, and a lot of fake accounts.
So, am I
Okay,
fake or was I
first,
duped?
no one was duped into anything. Second,
Some
two
people may
fake
have been.
accounts.
You're all pretty duped into supporting
You
Gamergate.
guys are pretty duped.
Yes, my position is invalid and not based in anything.
No, you're not
Public
duped.
AGT rhetoric.
So the key feature is some people were like, oh, I totally am like Twitter in action, neo-reactionary, far-right, whatever. You guys aren't-
Okay, none of us
you guys
are
aren't
far. Okay, I am not far.
You're
right.
duped. Well, keep
Yeah,
in
you're
mind,
duped.
please
That's what we're
consider me
saying.
being
Doesn't
far-right.
work.
Stop
I am not far right wing.
No, I know you're
No,
not.
we're not saying you
You've
are.
been duped by the far right.
I'm not duped by anything. I don't pay
You know what
attention
duped
to the
means?
far right.
King,
Internalized misogyny.
screaming does not make it more.
People who are duped typically don't say, "Oh, I'm duped."
Right. Nobody's ever said that.
Ah.
Maybe like once.
Aha.
People
No.
who aren't duped also say they weren't
Wait,
duped.
guys.
that's
let me
also
talk-
true.
I'll talk calmly.
Sure.
You give me the floor for a moment.
Okay.
So far, what you guys have is 2 fake accounts and a lot of assumptions and a lot of ridiculous questioning, and that derives the conclusion of not your shields full of sock puppets and people in Gamergate are being duped.
Well,
Your
there's also
no. Your evidence is very thin, and your
There's the
arguments are
whole-
getting even worse.
There's
At
the
this
whole
point,
giant
you're looking
4chan
even worse.
conversation. There's the whole 4chan conversation, and I can't quote people because I'm having a very hard time finding it, where someone says, I can't remember exactly what they said, but it was something like, let's all make fake accounts and create
Oh,
hybrids.
Oh, I can't remember. It's a conversation. It happened somewhere. I can't remember. Where's my
Guys.
small Steve? What the
I'm
hell?
sure it did end up being said, actually. Because keep in mind, there has been, at its heart, Guns versus Chan, and Guns and Chan tends to be rather brutal in terms of their tactics, as you may have noticed.
So let's talk about the GitHub repository.
That was actually funny.
Yes.
Now, the only part that actually interested me about that entire fiasco was the moron that thought it would be appropriate to try and trace the guy that emailed him on that particular issue.
Well, what I was talking about was that there was instructions there on how to make fake accounts, and with the general, the language used was to sound like someone the social justice warriors would not want to be against. So it said that you should make up an identity of being a racial minority and also someone of a lower class. The
Hey,
example
man,
is
who
given of
added
an
that
Indian cab
particular
driver.
bit? Now, there was definitely
That was in the
instructions
official
on how
Gamergate
to make it.
GitHub.
I remember that GitHub, actually.
Yeah.
I remember it, but what I saw there wasn't that specifically. Instead, what I read was make accounts, especially more of them, as many as needed.
Do you remember the part
Anonymous, so they
about
don't have-
being someone that the social justice warriors would not want to oppose, like an Indian cab driver?
It was more like annoy them.
Literally Indian cab driver. I mean, this. I'm not making that up. That was in there.
I know you're not making it up,
That's
but
so
that what
thin
was
even
there
more. I can't even.
was annoy them.
Right, but it was saying how to make a fake account, right? Or that you should. It was suggesting that you should do that.
It was suggested that you should be an anonymous account.
And that you
I
should
can't
portray your
believe-
identity as someone other than who you are.
I can't believe that this is what line of attack you guys are thinking.
That
think of
no,
all
I
the
understand
photos-
what they're doing.
I think of all the photos, the video montages, and the testimonials. I think we can
They're
definitively
going
prove
by the
that
origins
majority of
before all
members
of
of
that.
Not Just Shields
No,
are
look,
not. fake
I'm not
accounts.
saying that the people in the
No.
videos are fake. I'm saying
No,
that there
He's
was...
saying the origins were fake and that it's all
No,
astroturf.
not all of the origins. I'm saying that at the beginning, there was a coordinated effort to make fake accounts.
No, there wasn't.
a coordinated
No,
effort.
there wasn't.
I
I'm
thought
telling
you
you
just
right now,
pointed
sir,
at coordination.
definitively, there
That
wasn't.
GitHub was
From
shared
the, no.
on
The
Twitter.
first video
With
of Not Your
instructions.
Shield.
Hey,
had
if
so
you
many
yell,
you're way
members
off
of
base.
the-
yell, we have no idea whether you're right or just loud.
Yeah, we can barely understand you.
Sorry, loud's my
But more
default.
importantly, in this particular instance,
King, I have a really quick
going
question.
by the
Are you
origins.
This is my first stream, so I'm not sure if I'm being loud.
You're
That's
being
the
loud.
thing.
You're
Every
being
time
yelling?
you yell, you're being loud.
Yeah, in
Yes.
real life, if you're yelling, it works just the same on the internet.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Funny.
Yeah.
So I,
It's
I-
hard
I-
to-
I-
Alright, I'll
coordinated
make this
effort.
quick. Okay,
Wait,
I'll make
wait,
this
gotta
quick.
chill out.
The,
Don't
the way
rage.
this works
Okay.
is that the internet projects what you do, what you say, into our ears, just the same as air.
Okay, alright, sorry.
So what
I'll
makes it a
make this
coordinated
quick.
effort to make fake accounts is the fact that this GitHub had these instructions and that it was passed around through the Gamergate hashtag as an instruction book for what new Gamergate supporters should do.
Okay.
And
This
that's
is all-
proof of
these all
what
happen-
Where I
exactly?
disagree
That's
in
proof
is
of
what
a-
instructions
So
were there.
what that would be is coordination because it coordinates, and it would
No,
be
it isn't.
The
No, it's
disagreement.
not.
No, it is.
When-
It's
That's
a message. That's
No,
what
no, no.
you need
This
to
is
prove
where I'm disagreeing with
coordination.
you on.
No, wait.
Can he finish this point?
So let me try it again. It's coordination because it is people agreeing with each other on how something should be done. It's
No,
fake.
no
and
one's
taking
agreeing
concerted
with
action.
No, no one was agreeing with anything. How
No,
many
no.
times was that thing retweeted?
King,
How many times was it?
listen to what he's saying. When two people get together and agree to do something, that's called coordination. That's all he's saying.
That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Hold up.
So-
We're not saying
The only
everyone
disagreement
coordinated.
I'm really having was in the instructions themselves. It was more like annoy social justice warriors because they will dots and smear you because they had already been dotsing beforehand. Of course,
Now-
you
Yeah,
aren't exactly aware of that.
What was the method to annoy them to make accounts?
The
accounts
annoyance
on
is
Twitter.
to be anonymous.
You
Right,
guys don't
so-
know how to argue evidence. AGG,
They
the
don't know how to argue at all.
would tell you that after you've established that there was coordination, the next step is you have to prove that the people who were doing the coordinating were part of the movement they claim to be a part of. And
No,
that
actually,
no one can do.
I would say the question is, was there a coordinated effort to
No,
create...
you have to prove that they're part of the
No, wait,
movement.
I'm trying to...
Case closed.
No, but...
Please,
Closed.
please let him tell you what he would
trying
say.
to prove that there is a coordinated effort to create fake accounts, and to do that, there are a number of things that need to be proved. I need to prove coordination. I
No.
need to prove effort,
You
and I need to
failed.
prove.
There's none. There was no proof
No,
of
I
either
haven't done
one.
it yet.
You
King,
failed on all
King,
three.
you don't know enough on this
I'm
one.
sorry.
This is from early on.
God
I
damn.
have to promote. I have to prove coordinated. I have to prove effort, and I have to prove fake accounts. So I think we've gotten through coordination because the GitHub existed. That
And it
is
was
The
coordination.
GitHub did
I can't prove
exist.
that, but we all know it.
It
Now,
existed.
it did exist.
No,
where
listen,
I'm
God damn.
arguing is
look, he's trying to walk you step by step. He's stating the conditions he has to satisfy, and he's making a primitive fact. Two people agreed to do something, therefore there was coordination. That in and of itself says nothing more.
No,
Yeah.
that's all it says.
Yes,
Right.
that's all he's saying right
We
now.
are all in agreement that there was coordination.
the
No.
coordination of doing
No, I
anything.
don't-
That doesn't say
Two
much of
people
anything. though.
work together to create instructions to engage in something. I don't know
No,
what
no, no,
it
no, no,
was.
no. That's akin
That's
to.
where you and I are
Okay.
disagreeing with the exact instructions.
Bitter, shut up and
Okay.
let Bitter go.
I'm not
Yeah.
talking.
One
Listen.
second. AGG,
Both of
1
you.
second. Can
Okay,
I?
go ahead.
All right. Me giving you a recipe for a delicious pie is us not coordinating making delicious pies.
No, absolutely
That's just
not.
you making delicious pies for your own consumption, for your own whatever.
I
So
agree.
me telling you what to do to annoy SJWs on your own terms, on your own plans, that's not us coordinating together. That's just
fair.
happening to use the same vector.
Yeah, and
to
he's
do
not saying those are the same thing.
That's
Listen,
absolutely fair. So I guess what I'd need to say then is just it being two people is not coordination. It actually needed to be more than two people. It needed to be one person creating the instructions and at least two people looking at them, because then it would be coordination between that one person and the two people he was instructing.
You
So
can- You could show
But
that. the-
coordination implies knowledge of the other. It implies
No, it doesn't.
that we're
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
absolutely not. It implies that people are doing the same thing. They are coordinated.
but coordination.
He
is
can
more
easily
than
prove
just doing the
coordination,
same
just
thing.
like I can
Coordination
prove.
seems like the easiest point to me. The fact that you're
That's
arguing
a petty
coordination
point.
Yeah.
That's
gonna make
that's
the
a
other
point
parts
I would even
trivial.
argue against.
Yeah,
That's-
this is a trivial thing. This is like saying people in traffic are.
Sorry.
You say that people in traffic aren't coordinating because they're not all working it out. They're
They
working
are.
cooperatively.
They're just getting instructions from the other. They're all
that's
operating
coordination.
on
They
their
are-
And
own
that is what coordination
singular.
is, Bitter.
So
No. That they have common mores.
So let me talk about. Let's talk about.
Let's
talk
go with
about-
the actually interesting part. I think we can
Okay.
mostly agree
So-
with it's being coordinated.
So
Oh,
effort.
If-
I
if-
don't, but
No,
I'll
it's
let
not.
the
I
talk.
disagree strongly.
one thing.
No
Oh, God.
offense.
One-
Spreading
one-
something on Twitter
You're
is
yelling
not
again.
coordination.
Yeah, it
No,
is.
it's not. You need to definitively
This
prove
is a
that they
fake
It
fail
is
each
coordination.
other.
Let me give you a
Come on,
hypothetical.
let
me
him
give you.
go.
Let me give you a hypothetical. Okay, I'm going to propose coordinating something on Twitter. The thing I'm going to coordinate is a flash mob. Do you agree that if I was able to create a flash mob, that would be a coordination?
Yes.
Okay.
Only
Does
if
everybody
they were able to tell you that they were going to show up. If
Yeah,
they
yeah,
had
sure,
no
sure.
Okay,
So
good.
if I actually created a flash mob, that would be coordination. If they did show up. No.
No,
So
Bitter
if
doesn't agree.
100 people show up somewhere and all raise their right hands at the same time, that is not a coordinated action.
If it depends on who they were getting directives from.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Me.
It does
I
not.
need a
Getting the
link and
directives
I
from
need
me.
evidence.
It
You
doesn't.
need to present me with evidence.
Coordination is so trivial to prove. for
King, you need to
fuck's
shut up
sake.
for a few minutes.
King, do you understand that there's a distinction between something that is a logical requirement and something that is a fact? He's talking about the logical requirements here, and then he's going to get to what he thinks are the facts. You keep denying the obvious fucking point. It's like he's saying air exists. You're like, oh no, it doesn't, because I didn't breathe that air.
Come on,
Shut
man.
up.
Okay. So I think we all. So there needs to be effort, and I think that no one would deny that creating a Twitter account takes effort.
Yep.
Not a lot of effort, but a little bit.
Yeah. Nominal. Yes.
And there need to be fake accounts. So coordination, I can't believe people are disagreeing with me on.
I don't get it either.
Actually,
We know that there's effort, and the only question then is, were there fake accounts? Is that fair?
Not
I-
quite.
No.
It's fake.
Because
No,
the
I-
points where I'm
Okay, let's go one at a
disagreeing
time.
was one other thing in the coordinating thing that I think you would have to show, and that's showing that there's a coordination on. When you say coordination, are you trying to imply that it's coordination among the people organizing it, or that the coordination is really just on the people who are following the instructions? Or are you
People
making?
just following the instructions.
Yeah, I know either would satisfy it. I'm just asking which.
No, I'm saying people following the instructions. I'm saying that someone put out an instruction sheet saying raise your right hand at 2 p.m. in Times Square, and at 2 p.m. 100 people raise their right hands in Times Square.
Yes, and then all you need to further show is that the hands have been raised, and then
Yeah.
to tie it to the Gamergate, what you'd have to additionally show, and I don't think you can, is that the people who were doing the coordinating and the acting were actually part of it. That is an empirically difficult.
Would have to show that they're part of Gamergate.
Yeah.
We didn't say that.
I don't care if they're part of Gamergate. They were part of Not Your Shield.
or that they were part of Not Your Shield, supposedly.
Yeah,
But if they did it with the hashtag, then that's what it is, right? If you
No,
get
no.
fake accounts to use the Not Your Shield hashtag,
Let me ask you: is everything that people claim true?
No, Not Your Shield, unlike Gamergate, is not a movement. I believe Not Your Shield I would call a shield, defined as a group of accounts that purport to be women and minorities who allege that they are being used inappropriately by people they disagree with. Is that?
But the problem.
It's not alleged.
I think you need to
It's
narrow.
not alleged.
No, I'm going to go with alleged. No, it's not
No,
a
it's
fact.
fact.
Okay,
It's quite
things that are fact are also alleged, but we
Yeah.
don't have to disagree with each other when I call them alleged. We can just call them alleged.
I can
Yeah.
disagree with him on that particular issue without him being unable to state that particular piece. That is what he believes it to be.
We
Okay.
both agree that it's alleged.
King,
Right.
if I murder you, and someone sees me murder you, and they say I saw him murder that guy, and it's on video, the fact that it's true doesn't mean it wasn't alleged. The person said it. It claims to be. It
that was
claims
a weird way to demonstrate that
We're having an
idea.
intellectual discussion because I want evidence. Before we have any more
Okay.
intellectual arguments,
Okay.
we
Why
need
are
to
you
present
going
evidence
into
of
emotional
facts.
appeals, man?
King, I'm
wanna
sorry. I'm. Okay, one sec. I'm
Nope,
sorry,
gotta keep
but
him. Nope, keep him. Nope,
No censorship.
keep him. No censorship.
I'm. Yeah, it's moderation.
Not
No,
your shield or
challenge.
something. Not
Give him another shot.
free speech.
But he really
Free
needs
All
to
right.
stop
speeches.
shrieking.
Look, I'm gonna go burp his bottle and get a sippy cup ready. Just leave him.
Come
All
on,
right,
King. You can't
King,
keep
mind
shrieking,
your
though.
P's and Q's.
Best pints and quarts for you drinkers.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I know if I made it a habit of shrieking, I would get booted, and I would deserve to be booted.
So I mean, I feel like we're at the point where we're almost on the same page on the coordination thing. We're very close.
No,
okay?
we're not.
Your
Except
objection.
King.
So I
Okay.
His objection.
chat box. I've pasted into the chat box an image, which I think gets coordination and fake accounts and effort all in one image
AGG. What he
without
wants.
any red lines.
King is trying to say that because you're not showing who is doing the coordinating, that the coordinating doesn't exist, which is clearly fallacious. But his complaint is that you haven't identified the agent.
8chan. I found the agent. It's 8chan number 261393559.
3559.
That is
I know
4chan.
him.
Whatever. I can't tell the difference.
The reason that it's
Color
impossible is because that 8chan doesn't have as many posts, period, let alone on one board.
Okay, fine. It's 4chan. Here's a 4chan picture. You can look at it.
All right, I promise I'll try to be calm.
You happen to know which
I want
board
you guys
it
to
is.
understand where I'm coming from with this.
I understand.
All right, here's
That's great.
the
You
thing.
just need to keep your shit together.
All right, here's the thing. The thing about it is that no matter how much of an intellectual discussion we are having on this issue, the
Some of
people
us.
who oppose Gamergate need to start bringing evidence of the stuff they're saying. So far, the reason why the narrative has fallen apart because they went overboard. They
The only
called us
stuff-
terrorists.
No, we didn't.
Misogyn- Yes,
No.
you guys.
No.
You definitively.
No.
No.
You really want me to show you the video where one of your members called us terrorists?
No,
No,
They
guys,
we never
literally
called you
us
terrorists.
that
Who called you
argument
terrorists?
that argument cuts both ways. It's
Who
very
called you
difficult.
terrorists?
I'm just reading this particular bit.
It's very difficult to say who's on the other side of an anonymous account by definition. So when you start saying this person or these people belong to that, you better have some way to back that up.
All right. In the ABC interview, what's like to be targeted by Gamergate, one of the supporters, who will remain nameless, literally said it's terrorism.
It is
In
terrorism.
order to- No, it's not. No,
Yeah,
it's
it
not.
is.
No, it's not. Terrorism
is.
needs to involve violence.
No,
You
it
make a
doesn't.
Keep in
mockery-
mind, they believe in violence in a different way than I do. So
You guys have a crazy.
but
Terrorism can
Terrorism-
also be the threat of violent acts.
Yeah, it doesn't require
it
violence.
requires fear tactics, not so much
Okay,
actual
see that right
violence.
there?
It's violence or
Right
the
there.
threat of violence.
I mean, violence
you
is
see
a
that
good
right
way
there?
to scare someone, but it's not the only way.
Okay,
The problem
let's start right
really
there.
is their definition of violence. They believe breathing on them hard is
I
violence.
don't think I don't think there's been any violence done yet that I'm aware of. I would say that terrorism is defined as the threat of violent acts intended to create fear for an economic, religious, political, or ideological goal.
No, terrorism is committing violent acts in order to spread fear.
Not necessarily.
That's what it
Come
is.
You're
That's what it
wrong.
is.
You're just objectively
Committing
wrong about what the
violent
definition
acts
of
in
this
order
term
to
is.
spread fear. That's the whole point of terrorism. It involves actually carrying out
No, it
violent
doesn't.
acts.
No, it doesn't.
I don't
No,
think
look
so.
it up. Please look it up.
Please look it
You're
up.
confusing sufficient for necessary conditions. Killing people is a sufficient way to scare them. It's not the only
Yeah.
way.
Are you implying that anyone could be a terrorist if they send a message like, I'm going to kill you?
I'm
and then
implying
they just
Well,
kill you?
no,
You can be
I
terrorists
no, I can't.
without shooting or
No,
without doing
just
any
sending
physical
a message
act.
to someone saying I am going to kill you does not make you a terrorist. The question is, why did you send the message, and what was your purpose in doing so?
Which
So
is where
basically, having an opinion and being
That's-
so mad at it that you have threatened someone's life in the name of that opinion could make you a terrorist.
yes,
You can.
Yeah,
Yes, actually.
Yeah,
yeah, I
it
would
does
say
always.
yes.
No offense,
Yeah,
but that's
it can.
Guys, you realize how slippery that kind of slope is?
Please look this up.
incredibly slippery. Yes.
Please
That's
look
kind of
this
the
up.
point.
Please look up what terrorism is, and then come back to this conversation.
If you look up the statute for making terroristic threats, I think that would be more helpful. I think that is, having never dealt with it, but
Okay, then arrest us. If you think that Gamergate has
Arrest yourself, bitch. Leave me out of this.
No. I'm calling for it right now. I'm calling for you people. who
Boy, you're
oppose
awfully
Gamergate.
brave. You're awfully brave with my
Go
Go
limits.
ahead.
Arrest.
I would love to see them actually try to bring up people online.
You do realize that people have been arrested for making threats, right?
So here's the definition of making a terroristic threat in New York State. A person is guilty of making a terroristic threat when, with the intent to intimidate or coerce a civilian population, influence the policy of a unit of government by intimidation or coercion, or affect the conduct of a unit of government by murder, assassination, or kidnapping, he or she threatens to commit or cause to be committed a specified offense, and thereby causes a reasonable expectation or fear of the imminent commission of such offense. So you don't need to do it to be a terrorist.
You just need to threaten it.
Let
and
me
create
ask
the
you.
reasonable expectation that that threat be followed through.
Yeah, King. Let me ask you. Have you ever watched any of the ISIS beheading videos?
I have.
Yeah. Have you watched the ones where they do the dry run through, but they don't kill the guy? That's still terrorism.
Yeah.
And
I
we
don't
lost him.
actually have to cut someone's throat to make
Oh,
them
he's
fear.
back. He missed most of that.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
It happens.
I am not going through that again. It's like a
Yeah.
God, I read the whole definition of making terroristic
I
threats.
know,
Nothing.
and you read it quite well. I had to.
Yeah, you did good. That's
All
a
right.
damn shame.
The
King, I'll just,
inflections on the joining phrases.
yeah, King. I'll just tell you, you missed a great explanation of terrorism. You should have been here.
It was really good.
It was.
Do it again.
It was.
We'll be talking about it for weeks.
Please
There
don't.
it goes. A person is guilty of making a terroristic threat when, with the intent to intimidate or coerce the civilian population, influence the policy of a unit of government by intimidation or coercion, or affect the conduct of a unit of government by murder, assassination, or kidnapping, he or she threatens to commit or cause to be committed a specified offense, and thereby causes a reasonable expectation or fear of the imminent commission of such an offense.
And you think Gamergate is guilty of that?
Yes.
Are you, sir? No court. I'm gonna tell you right now. No court in the Western world will ever convict a supporter based on that. And I'm warning you right now. You are basically humiliating yourself for the next like 20 years.
To be clear,
You really shouldn't be talking about other people humiliating themselves.
to be clear, I have never worked as a prosecutor or in criminal defense whatsoever because I haven't. But my understanding is that they take high school students. That they take high school students for making a terroristic threat, for threatening to blow up their school all the time.
You have to prove. Look, now you have to understand my standpoint.
Where he and I disagrees with is that he thinks that Gamergate is a terrorism group. It's not a terrorism group.
It's
I
not.
don't think Gamergate is a terrorism group.
How would you
Then I
classify?
misunderstood. Then why are you calling Gamergate engaged in terrorism then?
I know.
I don't think that's exactly what I said. I think that
See what I
Then
mean? Your
clarify,
argument is
please.
like,
terrorism
now
has
Stop!
been
Don't go into
engaged
emotional
in-
abuse, King.
Imagine
I
that
would
in a
say-
court of law.
Stop,
Imagine-
King. Stop, King.
terrorism has been engaged in by some members of Gamergate.
Which members,
Okay.
please?
The people who threaten to kill, rape, and murder people.
Please tell me which person did it.
God, I have no idea. I could go back through the logs of someone's disgusting direct messages for a month, but that always makes me sad, so I'm not going to.
Yeah,
Where
you
you
understand.
don't have the proof is really that is Gamergate itself, other than it as an event.
No,
is
all
really-
I'm saying. No, all I'm doing is taking you seriously with the definition you read because there's an intent component, and there has to also be the fear that it's imminently that the act is imminent. And I'm asking.
Let me use the most obvious example, and I know everyone's going to be like, ha ha ha, he's a gross troll, but that Jace Connors guy, that would have scared the shit out of me.
Oh, Jace
Yeah,
Connors,
too bad
who's
it's not
openly
real.
admitted to being
Too
a
bad
troll.
it's not real. Too bad it's a troll thing. Too bad
Yeah, but
it's got
if that had
nothing.
happened to you, would you not have had the shit scared out of you?
I've already
think I
had a
would've-
credible death threat in this, as well as tons of kill yourselves.
Yeah, but
If
didn't
someone makes a death threat, they
No.
wouldn't do it online. They would just try to find
Dude,
you.
I have people that have wanted to kill me in real life.
Sidrin, shut up for a minute. Let him finish his point.
But
Sorry, you go.
if someone had taken a video of their car literally flipped on a road that you could recognize nearby your house and said that they were definitely coming to kill you at the time, that wouldn't have scared
He
you
didn't
a
say
little
that.
bit?
So he wrecks his car, but he posted
You're
it on
conflating
video.
several videos,
That's
by the
kinda
way.
weird.
No, that was one video.
That was one video.
That
Even-
particular video, he was challenging her to a street race.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold it for a moment. Hold it for a moment.
But I don't need. I don't. It doesn't matter what's actually in the video to answer the question. If those events had happened, would I be scared? I don't think, or I suppose it was to me. I wouldn't be in fear, but I can't say I would have no concern. But I wouldn't call it the anticipation that something might happen in 2 or 3 hours from now, even if it.
No, not 2 or 3 hours. Would
But
you,
that's not what terrorism is. It doesn't have a timeline.
No, I'm not saying that it does. I'm saying, like, if I were to know that someone's going to come to my house and kill me in 2 hours, I would not be afraid of that right now. I would be concerned. I would be concerned, and I would take measures. But as the time gets closer and closer, that concern would eventually reach a point where I would.
You're not
Okay,
responding to the point that he's making.
Can I follow up with that, Justice Carter? Okay, you said you worked as a federal agent, right?
Yes.
Okay, and I'm trusting you had to be handy with a gun in your job?
You had to be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
Word
Okay,
up, Nate Dogg and Warren G. going to regulate.
Love that
Yeah.
song.
anyway, so, do you still maintain a cache of defensive measures? let's
Yeah,
say?
no, my house. If someone wants to come try to break into my house, they're going to have a very bad afternoon.
Shut up, Kevin. Sorry, I was not you. If anybody wants to show up to your house, you're reasonably presumed
Yes.
to be. Okay, to be fair, I'm presuming that a lot of anti-gamergaters aren't as disciplined. So I'm not trying to invalidate your point.
No, no,
I'm just saying
I
understand your exceptional
No,
case.
no, I fully concede that not everybody has my tolerance for these kinds of things. But the question was put to me: would I be afraid? I wouldn't. Not from that alone. I mean, there could be more.
Okay. But is it unreasonable?
No, I didn't say that either. No, no,
Okay.
I'm saying it's perfectly understandable.
This is a better question.
Let me put it this way: if I were dispatched to such an allegation of a crime, and that those are the facts that had happened, I would effect an arrest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it would. I think that there's probable cause certainly, and I think that it could definitely be proved beyond a reasonable doubt. I think it's a crime to do that.
Okay.
I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying I personally wouldn't be like, oh my god.
Okay.
Can I respond to that?
Sure.
Okay, here's the thing about that video. You find it weird that after an accident, he doesn't go out for help or anything. He just videotapes it and posts it on the internet. You don't find that kind of odd?
I think that's very weird, but that makes it more scary.
Yeah, that makes it
No,
scarier.
it doesn't.
There was a literal flipped car. There was a literal flipped car in the video. It was.
Is there any other example of some crazed nut person doing this? It's kind of a unique thing.
Yes. No, crazy nut killed Lenin.
The thing is,
Dude,
I could
yeah,
actually
have
see the
killed so
point.
many
But,
people.
One of the areas that I was ending up
YouTube
bringing
video.
attention was he didn't make the death threat in that video. He made it in a Christmas special.
A Christmas special?
Oh,
A Christmas special.
Yeah, what's that?
Oh my
I don't
God.
think that
was
in
it Miracle
any way-
on 34th Street by chance?
I don't
No,
think
it was
that.
American Street.
Every time you
Whenever
kill
he was
Brianna
reading-
Wu, an angel gets its wings.
I don't
come on,
think
don't do
that
that.
that in any way ameliorates the fact that this is an individual who had made threats, who is now notably in the state of the individual, and at the time, literally, there were threads and threads on Kotaku in Action about how it was haha funny and not a big deal.
Okay, that's Kotaku in action, and I hate to
That's
pull
not-
that
Okay,
tactic.
that's because
but-
people assumed it was a joke.
Peter,
And
what are we supposed to be
surprised
talking
it was
about?
a joke.
Why would anybody assume
What's
that is a
better
joke?
than that?
I didn't assume it, but a lot of people did. To
Yeah,
me,
no.
I just thought it was odd.
Yes. You know, there's a funny thing about people who kill other people. They're generally a little odd.
Thank God someone said that.
And rapists tend to be a bit odd too, you know.
Well, challenge that
Well,
one.
in other words,
Yeah, that's not true.
you don't delay someone's
Challenge that
concerns
one.
by saying, the guy sending you death threats, don't worry about it. He's just strange.
Okay, can I caveat that with
You want me to
people
pull up?
who kill other people for non-business related purposes, if that makes any sense?
Some
Um,
killers might be crazy, but not
what?
every none of them.
That
I'm
was
sorry, there are people.
I have no idea why you're bringing that up, Peter.
That was a
I
weird
feel the
statement
special
to make.
exemption needs to be met.
Okay, I'll make a more narrow proposition. People who kill other people for no particular reason of necessity are a bit
Yeah,
odd.
okay,
There
yes.
you go.
Oh, you're
There
talking
you go.
about soldiers, fine.
No,
Yeah.
I was thinking self-defense.
I was thinking he was talking about the mafia.
Police.
Oh, I thought that was
mafia.
I thought that reference, but no, the mafia.
Okay, so I think we can all agree that not every killer is going to be odd.
Yeah, but
And if someone
crazed
really
people
wants
who are
to
going to
When
kill
someone
you,
is odd, that doesn't make me think that they're less of a killer.
yeah, no.
No, them admitting it was a joke makes you think they're less of a killer. That guy.
Yeah, sure.
saying it was a-
But I'm talking. I'm calling the terrorism from before anyone knew it was a joke. When Gamergate was all haha funny, and I hope Brianna Wu has a gun, and all of the ridiculous, disgusting things that got said in Kotaku in Action, which is the only thing I
Well,
watched.
considering that there are 150,000 people who have accounts on Gamergate, I want a head count of how many people said those things right now.
No,
and if it's
I
not
don't
150,000,
want
Some numbers are just inventions, better.
Please stop.
Why
Yeah,
would
no.
I? Why would I do that?
because
it involves effort.
It's about percentages. If you
No,
can't
but-
prove a majority of
okay,
GG is
So
engaging,
what
Yeah, no,
percentage?
no.
What percentage of Gamergaters can be terrorists before you have a problem with your movement?
one.
There's a
So all
better-
you have to do is prove that one person is engaged in terrorism.
You're making a fundamental mistake. That they're thinking that it's a homogenous movement. That is the common
No,
mistake.
nobody's
that
saying
they
it's
have.
homogenous
He
movement.
said it already. Repeat.
Okay, I'm only
No.
saying it for the sake of his argument.
A
I
movement.
generally
There's a
believe that
reason why I'm
Gamergate
pointing
is
you
not a
out on
movement.
that.
No, my point was that if he's saying that there's some amount of acceptable terrorism in a movement that he belongs in, I want to know what percent of a movement he belongs in can be
I see
literal
what you mean.
terrorists.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. He's
And the
pointing
answer is, and like I said, the answer is,
Percentages.
look, I'll make this clear. If there is one person who's going to commit an act of terrorism with a GG label, I would leave.
Okay,
I wouldn't
so
say
That was the guy who started.
Jace Connors. So when Jace Connors was not clearly a prankster, but was instead more likely than not a literal crazy person, were you in Gamergate?
Well, at the time, not necessarily, but due to other reasons and drama on the internet, I stopped using the tag for a while. So
You say not necessarily. He's asking you, was it in fact true? The fact that it's not logically required doesn't mean that it's false. Answer his question.
oh,
Were you,
it was in
were
December,
you,
right? Was it in December? That
I'm not
happened
going to
in
answer
December,
those
right?
questions. It's your job. You were aware of Jace Connors when it happened. Were you part of Gamergate, or did you say, oh, this Jace Connors guy is a literal terrorist. I will no longer be a part of this movement?
You said,
Well,
you laid out your own fucking rope. Now hang yourself on it.
for me?
Yeah.
Yes, you.
You made your bed. Lie in it.
Yep.
Oh.
Follow it to its conclusion.
It's
Don't-
okay.
Don't deny where the argument takes you, because now you find out that it's fucking inconvenient. Be a
So there
man.
is-
Answer the goddamn
there is a
question.
Hey, relax. Relax.
We are relaxed,
If Jace
sir.
Connor was a terrorist, I definitely would have left Gamergate.
Yeah, but everyone thought he was a terrorist.
I did
Well,
not, but then again, I'm not
no.
Gamergate.
Wait, hold on
Yeah,
a second.
Kotaku and Action, you said it yourself.
Keep in
that he
mind,
was
I have
doing
different
it.
sources of information. than
King
y'all.
has an out here. All he has to say is,
Okay.
I'm waiting for the conviction before I make a decision.
I was about to say that. Like,
No, you
I
weren't.
need.
Shut up.
Yeah. Okay.
Be nice, Jessica. Okay,
I
go.
am.
We're gonna start being nice now.
So there is,
I'm fucking loving this
there
up.
is an acceptable level of terrorism that you would accept from a group you belong in. I accept that. That's okay with me.
But it's not okay.
No, it's not. It's not okay with
I mean,
me.
I think you're wrong, but
No,
you
I-
will accept a level of terrorism in your group.
You're an American.
Oh my lord. Okay, I don't want to yell, but I'll make this quite clear. Gamergate is not a terrorist organization.
Never said it
No
was.
one's been convicted.
None of us have said it was.
All right. Okay, but individuals in Gamergate have not been convicted of any terrorism.
Prove it.
Well,
No
I
matter-
mean,
Really?
convicted is a very strong word.
Yeah, that's going to take a while, and it likely will not happen during the course of
And,
Gamergate.
and to be
It's-
clear,
There
Actually-
have been charges.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know that it's true that people in Gamergate haven't been convicted of terrorism. I don't know every member of the movement.
I mean, to be fair, DHS is pretty hush-hush when it snaps terrorists, but you'd think there'd be something.
No,
This
I
is
mean,
the problem with these kinds of scenario arguments. I mean, you're
No,
trying
The problem is that you're not able to keep up with them.
I'm pointing out to you.
yeah, that is true. But the truth is, I'm not really interested in them. They don't
So
have
maybe go
much-
away.
Then go away. What,
No.
James, bitch?
It's okay, King. It's really okay if you want to tell
So
it tonight.
let's be clear. Yesterday, a man was convicted of making terroristic threats in Montgomery County, Alabama. His name was Albert Lindsay. I don't know if he was part of Gamergate. Do you?
I don't.
Neither do
Wait,
I.
Albert Lindsay, you say?
I do.
This
Oh.
King, what you're recognizing here, and that some other
I
people
got a guy
also
who
don't
was
recognize.
convicted. Oh no, this guy was just arrested, but they literally arrested him for saying, "I'm going to bomb the courthouse." So I guess that would probably be good enough. That was David Carl McMurdy of Laverkin, which is in I don't even know where that is. I think that's Florida.
Okay.
Was he in Gamergate?
I have no idea.
Neither do I.
And
You
this
know-
is what I was
These are
saying
kind of
earlier.
the points that are being made.
When you don't know who's on the other end, it's very difficult to say which group may or may not be responsible. It's easy enough for people to say, I'm with that group, and then say things, and the proper response there is for the people in that group to say, not so fast.
Okay. But how much, what is the metric by which saying, I disavow that guy? I don't know him.
It's impossible because of what Gamergate actually is.
A
See,
controversy?
what they've been trying to box you into as in a homogenous group. What you're falling into is, again, following their ruling of
Okay.
what you are.
Let's talk about that for a second. Because where this started was with an interview that was done where one person said that they had been the victim of terrorist threats by members of Gamergate.
How can you be a member,
How can you be a member of what amounts to an event, other than...
Well, I understand why your perspective is on this, Thidrin, but I think that you appreciate what they're just saying and how for other people have a different take on what Gamergate means, so that you can follow this sentence to its conclusion.
Go for it.
No, I mean you understand like what they're saying,
I understand
right?
what they're saying. Yeah.
Okay. So this is what they said. Now, that's how this conversation started. We are not the ones saying that Gamergate is a homogenous movement. That person was not saying that Gamergate is a homogenous movement. That person was relating an event that happened to them in their life.
Okay.
Yep.
And that, yes, but they made some propositions that, such as I'm aware, haven't been shown to be true. When you say that X
But
happened...
that is not the same thing as what Thidrin just said. Thidrin just said...
No, I
Well, that's great, so I'm talking to Thidrin. And what Thidrin said is that we are trying to make Gamergate into a homogenous movement. We're trying to treat it as though there's some sort of guilt by association thing going on with that.
Some
where
of y'all
everyone
have
is
been.
guilty for the sins of everyone else.
Specifically AG.
Am I correct?
I have noticed that pattern, yes.
But that is not
You,
relevant
not
to this
so
discussion.
much.
That is not how this terrorist thing came up. That this is not about saying everyone in Gamergate is a terrorist. That's not what has been said here.
So what is being said?
Some people in Gamergate are terrorists.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you say some people in Gamergate are terrorists, if you're operating off the axiom that it's an event, that it's a controversy, then
Then that doesn't make any sense
it's a
whatsoever.
non-statement.
It doesn't make
you,
any
at
sense.
least.
So
That's
if you
only
guys
to
think
you.
Gamergate if you guys think Gamergate is an event and not a movement or something, then you're not Gamergaters because there's no such thing. So if you
Ding, ding,
Right.
ding! I was wondering when you'd figure it out.
so if you guys keep calling yourself Gamergaters,
I don't.
I haven't.
I don't either. It
I
just-
mean, I'm
Right.
sure AGG called me and Justicar Gators, because, yeah, but, hey,
Yeah.
I will say I'm pro-Gamergate in that I will
wouldn't even say I'm
quantify
pro
that
or
Gamergate is a
anti-Gamergate.
how can you be
event.
pro an event? That doesn't even mean anything.
That's
Yeah,
why I've been
nobody's
calling them
pro-
retards.
Other events.
No,
You can be
I'm
pro-event.
I'm pro the invasion of Normandy. I'm very
I'm
for that.
pro 9/11.
No.
God damn it.
No, guys,
I'm pro World War II.
That's
None
the
of
you-
logic that I've applied
How
to
do
it,
you-
none
by
of
the
these
way.
have any meaning.
That's the point. You're trying to
When
subscribe
you
to
say
stuff that is not
when you
there.
say when you say pro the invasion of Normandy, what you mean is you supported the political movement that believed that we should invade Germany. Is that a fair statement?
Among other propositions, yes.
Beaches of France, but yes,
So when-
you are
It's
for-
fair.
Whatever. When you say
It's
you're
true, but
pro
you-
World War II, what you really mean is you support the movement that believed that the United States should get involved on the side of the Allied powers.
Americentric view, by the way.
No, I think he was just being an asshole.
No, that's
America's had to get involved sooner or later. They might as well join us. or
Okay.
die
Thank you,
separately.
King. Bitter, let's talk about this a little second, because you
Yes.
are one of the people I know who says this, that you say that you are pro-Gamergate and that you are not a member of Gamergate. But this construction has always seemed very bizarre to me, in that
Okay.
being pro an event is not... like where else is this form used in your life?
Civil rights movement. I'm
No,
pro
I'm
civil
talking to
rights
Bitter,
movement.
please. King?
That was a movement, not an event.
Right.
It was quite an
He
event.
talks to King. No, not King. Let me not talk to King. Talk to anybody but King.
My last name is King, so I've been confused this entire time.
Yeah.
Can I call you Queen?
So, Bitter,
No.
is there another point in your life where you refer to yourself as pro an event in the same sort of way?
I never referred to myself as
Bitter? You're not bitter.
to begin with.
He's not. Okay, who's...
I'm pro. I said earlier, I'm pro-abortion. I'm pro-gay marriage. Those
No,
aren't
no, those aren't
No,
events.
you're not.
Yeah, those are
abortion.
Pro-abortion
Trying
means
to-
that you support the use of abortion to end pregnancies, and pro-gay marriage means that you support the rights of gay people to marry each other. Those are both
Both those
movements.
things
That's
I
not
can
a
understand perfectly why
Political
you
stances.
confused because
No,
of the idiots
it's just a
that
matter
are
of
identifying as an
Those are-
event.
it's just a matter of subjects and predicates. To say that
But those are not
And-
events.
yeah, every
Yes, they
abortion
are.
is an event, sir. And the
That's
and
not
the
what you're
group of
referring to, and you
No.
know that, and
You
I know
are
that,
not-
and I'm asking Bitter a question.
You are not pro the abortion of Jamie Curtis got on December 31st, 2023, 2013. That's not what you said, right?
I
You
said
By the
I'm
way,
pro
I got a
abortion.
question.
Are you
Oh, no,
pro-
man,
like, okay, no, I'm asking Bitter, because Bitter is a little bit smarter than that. Maybe.
Oh, I have credit. Yay.
Yeah.
Anyhow, basically in my own metrics, in my own estimation,
Sure.
Gamergate is just the story so far involved with the hashtag. So, you can have people who want this hashtag thing, this whole kerfluffle, to keep going, or conversely believe that is leading to positive ends, a net metric gain.
Yeah,
I
but
totally understand
you
what you're
didn't
saying,
answer
but
the
you're not
question.
answering my question.
Okay, and
My question is, where do you use that construction of pro and event elsewhere in your life?
Normandy.
No.
Okay? I'm not asking you.
I think you're trying to
And
ask.
pro
clear,
climate
and to be
change
clear, and
and
I want to be
anti-
clear. No. And to be clear, when you say pro or con an event, it can't imply that you were part of a movement to actually do something. Because
No, it can imply that, though it doesn't
can.
necessarily have to.
no, but if it does, then it
That is
means
not a good answer to
Gamergate
the
is a
question.
movement. Because if you say I am anti-climate change, that doesn't mean that you are opposed to the fact it was warm yesterday. It means that you believe that the climate changing in the world requires action taken by governments. That's a movement.
Okay.
Or an event.
King, shut up.
Just mute people left and right. All right. So, one more time, where would I normally use this outside of this own debacle?
Is this a thing that you've ever used before? Is there a reference here that you can? You're using this construction as though it's something that I ought to understand, and you say, "Yeah, no, of course, I'm just pro this event." Then I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
That's
Well,
what I
you
don't
could totally
get.
be for events occurring or continuing on.
Like what?
Like, fans of franchises would ostensibly be pro that franchise.
Has that construct ever been used in that
So if
context?
you said you were pro Avengers, wouldn't that mean you supported another Avengers movie coming out?
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
So
Saying you support an event doesn't deny that you support a future event. It just doesn't mean that.
Sure. So someone who is, quote, pro-Avengers, that doesn't mean that they are fans of the Avengers. That means they want more Avengers movies, right?
Well, either that or they want more media involved with it. But yeah,
Whatever, yeah.
essentially.
Oh boy, I'm leaving.
So,
Hey, you guys, what? Enjoy the
wouldn't that-
discussion. I'm gonna be going.
Okay, good. You have a good
Promise?
night, King. Thank you for showing up.
Try not
Invite
to
me
get.
back next time, guys.
Oh, I'll be sure to do that. Try not to get run over crossing any streets.
so wouldn't
Look
that
left,
mean,
right, then left.
AGG, can I take this one?
Sure, but you understand what I'm getting at, right? Every one of
Actually,
these
not.
pro events means I am actually part of a movement to do something.
It's not. But I think that's
Well,
a
yeah,
good
that's
point.
fine.
But
You
what
can
I really
be
want to
part
get
of
at
a
right away is
pro-GG
that this is
movement,
just
but
this is not a
Gamergate-
construction people use.
Sorry.
This is just not a construction people use. You don't use that language. Like, no one ever says that they're pro Avengers, ever.
Well, yeah, they say they're fans of the Avengers.
No,
Right.
I'm pro my own kids. That doesn't mean that they're a movement.
But so, how do you in your life use the phrase pro an event? Is that a thing
Yes,
that you've done
well, I
outside of
do
Gamergate?
now.
Talking to
I
bitter.
gave a perfect
Talking to
example.
bitter.
Yeah, no, I do now that I say, yeah, I'm pro GG.
Right.
And-
Is there any other? What I'm getting at is that this is a very strange construction, and it seems very artificial to me, in that it only seems to apply to this one thing. This language, the language of being pro an event, is something that you're using to describe Gamergate, and nothing else in human experience.
Well, primarily it's used to desegregate from people who want
When
Gamergate
is it
to
used?
stop
When is it
in
used?
this context.
Outside of Gamergate, is it used at any other point?
Well, anti-abortion, anti...
Those are
Okay,
movements,
so
not
change.
events.
Are you when you say that, when you say anti-abortion, you're anti an event?
Let me ask
Well,
you:
it's a controversy. Okay, yes.
is it in order to oppose every particular act of abortion, do you need to support or be in favor of any movement that also happens to be against that? I don't see that one requires the other.
That is just not the question. Can I please just fucking finish this question for the love of God?
All right, yeah. We'll keep pathing me. All right. So, essentially, where else would I use for a controversial event or anti a controversial event?
Thank you.
Okay. Well, Gamergate, because... And the reason why is not because of any common language, like convention, but rather because I need an effective means of distinguishing myself from people who want Gamergate to stop. So I can't call myself part of Gamergate because I'm not comfortable with the all of the rhetoric. Like, for example, Gamergate's always about being anonymous or what may have you, but I'm not. But at the same time, I agree with the general gist of the rhetoric, even though I'm in opposition to a fair amount of points. So I can, in good conscience, call myself Gamergate, but I have to say I'm more for it than I'm against it. I
understand your construction, like in your mind, of why this makes sense, and I totally follow that line of logic. My point is that when we're having this discussion about, oh, is Gamergate a group? Is it an event? Is it whatever? Using this thing, going to say, no, it's an event, and I'm pro this event, is a very, very strange thing to say.
Do you say it's...
Oh, sorry.
Do you think it's strange because of the amount of time that has been going on? Is that where the confusion lies?
No, I don't. I think that I'm not pro the football game that happened this morning. I'm not pro... I mean, it's a very strange construction. I understand the general idea that's trying to be conveyed when someone says that, but you don't say that.
Okay, hold up. I just realized this. What about, let's say, a dam nearby your local town? I don't know your local town. You can, but some people want the salmon to keep going up the dam. Now you can have people who want to protect the salmon and be anti-dam, but you can have people...
Dams aren't events.
Yeah, dams are not events. This seems very strange to me.
The Hoover Dam is not an event; it's a thing.
Yeah, being pro dam means you want the dam to exist. It doesn't mean you're for. Doesn't mean you're for the event of the dam's construction. And I understand that's a very subtle distinction, but this is...
No, it's not a subtle. It's a logically nonsensical one. You can't be in favor of something's existence without being in favor of the event that gave rise to it.
Yeah.
It's very.
No, I totally can. If I didn't think the dam should be built, but now that it's built, I don't think we should demolish it. I'm pro dam.
Yes.
Well,
which means you have to accept all of its necessary components.
No, sure. No, well, what?
One of which is that it came to
exist.
No, I didn't support. It didn't. It doesn't mean I support its building, but I don't support its demolition either. So now I am pro dam.
Right. Oh, hey, Hilltop. But if there are people who want to protect the fishies going up the stream, and it's not unreasonable to assume that people who didn't want the dam to be put there would also want the dam to be gone. So,
again,
if you aren't okay with the dam being destroyed, then you're just fine with your position.
That's still not an event.
Peter, what you're getting at is very different from my point once again, which is that what I'm asking is when this construction of language is used, and a dam is not an event. It just straight up isn't. Building a dam is an event, but that's not the same thing, and that you're using weird language again in that saying pro dam. You don't say I am pro the time we built the dam.
Well, yeah, because that contains excessive verbiage.
And that would be that would be very freaking weird. Every time you do this sort of pro-event
I'm
thing,
pro that event where a bunch of people started tweeting with the hashtag Gamergate is a lot of excessive verbiage, and I think it's what you're trying to say.
I think that's a fair characterization, although not just the Twitter, but rather a lot of the rhetoric involved with the people who were tweeting that.
You keep saying a dam isn't an event, that it's a thing. Saying that it's the one doesn't deny the other. Those aren't
you can't be an event and a thing. That doesn't even mean anything. Like, how can you be both an event and an actual physical thing?
An event is the outcome of something, is the result of something.
So those are two different things.
Yeah, one
is dam is the result of the dam.
The building of the Hoover Dam and the Hoover Dam itself are very different things. One's an event, and the other's a dam.
One is the consequence of a certain set of events.
Yes, but there's different ideas. They're different nouns. They're different constructions. They're different words.
Okay, if I'm against your parents ever getting together and making baby temp? Yeah, temp. Sorry, I forgot who I was talking to for a second. All right, so if I'm against your parents having ever copulated or ever bred, then by extension, I should be against you because you are the end result of the action that I am opposing.
I agree that would be very logical, but what we're talking about is the use of language, and that saying you're anti-me doesn't actually say anything about whether my parents should have gotten together or anything like that. You know, being anti-temp.
Well,
that wouldn't imply that.
It would imply they're against one particular occurrence of their having gotten together.
Yes, but the point is that these are different things. My conception is different from me, and the two things are related, but they're not the same.
You are the consequence of those anterior states of affairs, which is in and of itself an
Not
event.
the same thing. This is not a complicated idea.
It is an
Please-
event that continues to exist.
I understand that completely. What I'm just getting at is that they're not the exact same thing, and that you don't use the same words to refer to conception and person.
Okay, I think we're running into a
Some people
difference
do.
in precise semantics. So I'm just going to call and agree to disagree, because
But some people do use that construction. They
No,
seem
you don't
to
use the
just-
same word for conception and person. No one does
Yeah,
that.
no one says the birth of AGG, and what they actually mean is
Gazi.
my existence.
Right.
By the
And I
way.
don't go in the street and be like, "Hey, birth of temp, how's it going?"
Well, a birth describes one particular state.
But
in
no one
existence.
says that. It's a different word. It's a different idea. It's a different thing.
correct, because it's excessively
They're related.
under the
They're
circumstances.
related things that are different.
They are, of course, related. Something is obviously
And
related
they're
to
different.
itself.
And they're
Like,
not
one
exactly
is
the same.
predicated on the
The-
other. You cannot
This is
exist
the
without
stupidest
being bored.
conversation in the history of the fucking universe.
Yeah, this is really semantic-y. Anyway,
But-
okay, so can we just get an
Make an
agree to
apple
disagree?
pie from scratch.
Where were we at here?
Hey, Hilltop.
How's it going?
No, very well, buddy. So
To
anyway,
make an apple pie from scratch, you must first create the universe from scratch.
Thank you, Bob.
Baking an apple pie is a different thing from an apple pie.
Yes, and that's
Actually,
that's why you use a
And no one ever says I'd like to eat baking an apple pie.
Right.
Well, of course, it's grammatically nonsensical because of the
Thank you. Exactly. That is the point. That's
Exactly
But
the
that
point.
is not
right
what it's
there, and that was the
saying.
point.
That is not a movement is a thing, and an event is a thing.
Right, but you can't be pro the event.
That's kind of the point I was making.
An event is a thing. A movement is a thing. Creating
You're
something
conflating
is
the
an
event with
action.
Movements.
now going back to an event is a thing. Wouldn't that not be an action actually?
No,
By the actors involved, of course.
I think it's a noun. I was thinking
it's a noun.
Okay.
Baking is not a noun; it's a gerund.
Yeah.
No, the act of baking this pie. That's a noun.
Yeah, the act of baking a pie is not being a pie,
Right.
but the pie is
But that was it. Thank you. That was the
but a
point.
pie comes into being because of some anterior actions and particular
Yes.
things, and that is its existence.
But
is
you
itself
don't
an
want
event.
to eat. You don't want to eat baking a pie. You want to eat a
Right.
pie.
But you must bake a pie. Therefore, if you truly want the
You're
pay,
saying-
then someone must take
the
on.
point
No,
is
when I'm
language
talking
construction used
about
to
my
form that
desire
sentence.
for a pie, I say I'd like to eat a pie, not I'd like to eat a baked pie.
You wouldn't want the pie to be baked.
No,
It
I'm
can be
sorry.
created.
You don't eat the event of baking a pie.
Yeah,
You do not say that.
of course you don't, but that doesn't mean that the pie's
Right.
existence
But
is
that's
not
the
an
point. Is
event.
that event precipitated the creation of the object. Right?
It's literally, I cannot believe that someone is still arguing that they are pro an event after all of this discussion. So I think we just need to let it go.
Clearly,
Agree to disagree.
We're not
Yeah.
going further with this because this is stupid as hell.
Yeah,
It
we're
is-
literally arguing in circles. Okay.
That's what I don't get. Why were you trying to say that I was trying to be pro or anti an event? I was simply saying that I view Gamergate itself as an event, and that anyone identifying pro or anti said event is an idiot, which is what they have been doing, in my opinion.
I accept your argument as logically self-contained.
Yes, Thidrin, you make a lot more sense in this context than the other people in this conversation. As
Well,
stupid
because-
as that is.
Because you fail at logic.
No,
I
yeah,
asked you.
it's
I
an
asked you.
event,
I asked you
and they believe
explicitly.
they are pro said event.
I asked you explicitly if the temporal state of affairs is what you're finding confusing. You said no. An event cannot go for a long while. It doesn't stop being an event.
Let's go back to the
I don't
discussion
know.
whether or not you pro or
Do you
anti.
mind if I interject really fast?
Yes, Hilltop.
Please, save
I
us.
believe that people have trepidation with identifying with the entirety of Gamergate as a movement because of the things that it's been linked to, or
Yes, it's terrible to join a movement with a bunch of misogynistic terrorists, but you have.
You say a bunch.
Yeah, a bunch.
Please
Okay.
specify how large
No,
that
no, no, no.
is.
I'm sorry,
More
Hilltop.
than
Great.
two.
Just a car, we'll get back to your
So,
point.
Keep
I
in
told-
mind, they have accused me directly of them involved in this stuff. Not
Yes,
Accused
simply
you
as a group. They have accused me directly.
Yes,
Not
Thidrin,
you
you,
two, though.
Hilltop.
you are guilty of
Bitter is
stuff.
anti-Semitic. Bitter is anti-Semitic.
Kick.
You what? I have an Israeli rifle.
Hell, Ag himself has called me
I'm
racist.
sorry,
simply
Hilltop,
for my
what's going
difference as far as affirmative action is concerned.
Yep.
Well, let me ask you this: Would you prefer, as a construction, that instead of saying I'm pro Gamergate, one
Wait, I
says
thought we were done with this.
we are. I'm asking for a different construction. That I'm in favor of the stated goals of Gamergate, i.e., ethics and journalism. Do you have any problem with?
A more typical use of language.
It's a more typical use of language, but it is obviously begging the question.
No, it's not begging the question. The stated goals are whatever they are. I'm
Yeah,
not aware.
sure, but you
No,
don't.
but there is no stated goal that involves terrorism or misogyny.
Sure, but you don't get to say you're pro something that is a whole bunch of things, and then say, "Oh, me saying that I'm pro this only means that I'm pro its stated goals."
I can't.
Oh, interesting.
I can't pick and choose the extent to which I agree with someone. I don't understand.
No, you can say that you believe in ethics and gaming journalism.
Yes.
You can say that.
And
you
to the
can say
extent
that you believe in equality of men and women as far as radical feminism is concerned. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, we have people like Valerie Solanas, who was.
I don't respond. I don't respond to comments about obvious satire.
Excuse me, what's obviously satirical about shooting Andy Warhol?
Nope, that wasn't satirical. That was crazy person.
Wait.
Exactly,
Okay,
yeah,
you can
exactly.
abandon crazy people when it's not convenient now?
No, I don't understand.
no.
What are you trying to get at?
I'm trying to get out that I'm not an anti-feminist. However, I can take umbrage with certain feminists and their actions. It's pretty easy.
I think what we're running into here is that we're dealing with a lot of different questions. What we're focused on for a long time is the construction of
so
certain
you think
language.
that what Valerie Salinas is doing with respect to feminism today is really problematic?
Now take a look at how he's dodging that.
No. You think that what Valerie Salinas is doing with respect to feminism today is really problematic. Is that fair?
Isn't she in jail
I was like-
currently?
No, I just want you to answer the question. Do you think Valerie Salinas' actions right now in the year 2014 are problematic?
15.
What year is it?
15, sorry. Are
Still stuck
problematic.
I'm still stuck in the. He's still stuck in the event of Gamergate from
Yeah,
last year.
so do you think that her events as of this year are problematic?
No, because she's dead.
Oh, you gave it away. You see, I don't know why you keep letting people who are so obviously going to say that they're so offended by what she's doing because he thought she was in jail.
I wasn't tracking.
Whoever said jail ignored the fact that she died, 20 years ago?
Actually, she's been dead almost as long as I've been.
Yeah.
She's been dead longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
So, really, Valerie Salinas, guys, come on.
What about the
It
Scum
wasn't a perfect
Manifesto?
example, but I think that there is kind of a. I mean, she
She's
has a lingering.
She's really, really dead, and she was never all
Just
that
like
relevant.
And eventually, all of us
Like,
will
Has
be.
left a long shadow on feminism.
We can have a very different
Valerie
conversation about Gamergate when you're all
Salinas
dead.
left a
No, I'm
long
talking
shadow on
Dork at this
feminism.
point.
Oh, we switched people.
She's dead too. Just
She
so
is
you know.
dead, but she has left a long shadow on feminism.
Well, a
One
wide one.
second.
A wide shadow at least.
Yes.
Wait, I'm confused. What shadow did she leave? What is it that she did that was so
Scum
utterly...
Manifesto.
So,
Actually, I was going to say the
Dworkin had nothing to do with the Scum Manifesto, which was
What
satire.
she had-
Wait,
was
Dworkin? Oh
Dworkin.
God, Dworkin's a whole other bag of
Yeah,
worms.
we switched people.
we
Keep on.
switched people to make
Sorry.
it more interesting.
I know
Okay.
it might be hard for you to fathom if we keep switching people, but just
What? Okay. Okay.
I think
Anyhow.
Hilltop was trying to get at like a really specific point, and it was deflected because that example was not good. But maybe you can get at that point another way. Hilltop?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I think you were trying to get at a certain point, but it didn't
Well, I
go
was just
very
trying to
far
say-
because you had a bad example. Do you
I
have
mean,
another
it was
way to get
a
to that
terrible.
point?
I mean, you can say that it's a terrible example. I mean, the point is that there are people within the non-movement or however you want to classify Gamergate that have done things that I personally would not agree with or that other people would not personally agree with, yet we don't conflate them with the things that they are a part of.
Are they dead?
They will be.
No, but are they
Are they
dead
dead now?
right now?
Sorry, the way you phrased that was just like.
No, I think it's a very important point. The people who he thinks have done these terrible, terrible things to feminism are dead.
Well, let me ask.
Not all of them are. These terrible, terrible things. Okay, but the only examples that have been given are dead.
Can we run through like people who have said awful things in the name of feminism now?
Sure, go ahead.
This is why I asked you
to them up because I actually don't want to deface feminism. I don't think that's.
Yeah, but I don't think that people have been able to find exactly two examples: a crazy person and someone who was literally out there on the fringe, wrote some very interesting things and some very, very not interesting things. And I guess
the part that makes her interesting was simply her contribution to the resulting sex wars. That's what makes her interesting as far as feminism is concerned.
Okay, but this is the point here, is that this is a very bad way of making this point. And Hilltop, I realize you want to die on this hill, but maybe don't. Maybe find another way to make your point.
I don't want it to go unobserved that AGG said no one has been able to point out more than 2 examples right after he said, I have more. The fact that
I'm waiting for the more.
Aaron,
no pulling that same screenshot with your cherry pick quotes.
I'm sorry, but Erin Pizzi had one of her dogs shot after she advocated men's abuse shelter.
Do you know if the shooter is alive or dead?
Oh no! Oh shit! I don't fucking know! Oh fuck! Argument collapse!
Let's get back to what Hilltop was saying. Do you have another way of making that point that might be more effective at conveying the idea you want to get across?
Tumblr in action, and
maybe Hilltop could give it a shot, because I think they understand their point better than you do.
Okay,
I can tell you one example. Geldine, she's
well, that's
picking
not
up.
Hilltop, so I'm going to keep trying.
Okay.
Oh, hey! You're still alive. What's up,
yeah.
dude?
I'm fine. But Geldine pick it up what what Dworkin was saying by shutting the porn industry. And she is relevant now, and she passed legislation in Iceland, I think.
Is she 10 years dead now, or only 9 years? I can't remember.
Her anniversary, I celebrate it daily, was just under a month ago. Her 10-year anniversary of her death.
So,
okay,
is there anyone
who's alive, maybe?
Yeah, it might be helpful.
Do you have any contribution of a better way to make your point, maybe?
I'm having a hard time understanding why you even need me to. I mean, my entire point is that we don't judge an entire group of people based on the actions of a couple of people.
But you're using an example to frame that.
No. That's my exact point. Is that I don't want to defame feminism by using her as an example, even though she was working within feminism and for feminism. Because I don't think she's representative of feminism.
You were using her as an example of someone that we wouldn't want to have as representative of feminism, but that was a very bad example because her relevance is somewhat hindered by the fact that she's dead.
Okay, but again, she still did what she did, and she still wrote the Scum Manifesto.
But surely there's
still has
1953, I think.
Which actually indicates, it just indicates that she's had even longer period of time to disseminate her messages.
Well, yeah, I mean, after that, she died 20 years later, then 30 more years passed.
No, I'm like, more time has gone by.
Even if she's dead, go ahead.
I like the general form of this kind of reasoning. Apparently, the vindication of the rights of women, we don't have to take seriously because she's dead, and therefore, you don't avoid the question of would you be happy with this person representing by noting that they are in fact dead.
Well, she can't represent modern feminism because she died 30 years ago.
Yeah, but some people pick up on that.
So, Geldine has another way of making that point.
And
the dear leader can't represent North Korea because he's dead.
No, he doesn't.
No, he's dead. A, he doesn't, and B, he doesn't.
Right, he doesn't. I don't know
so
what
by
doing with that.
this argument, he will say that the neo-Nazi are not inspired at all by the
Hitler.
No. Yeah. Inspire and represent are very different things. Are neo-Nazis today represented by Hitler? Absolutely not. They're represented by David Duke.
Yeah.
And
but
he
was.
I could call up names of people that I think are better at representing Gamergate than people who don't have names, don't have any actions beyond making a few odd threats and then deleting their Twitter accounts.
Do you realize why you're coming at this point from a very strange angle, though? Like, you're not making this point very effectively, and I'd like to try to respond to it, but I don't see what there is to respond to.
Well, I mean, here we are. We've been making, or rather you, before I joined the channel, we were all talking about threats of terrorism, for example.
You speak about relevance in a movement, let's say in feminism, but
You know what makes this hilarious?
What makes this hilarious? I'm sure I won't agree, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, on
No
my
regrets
end, I set
On
up
your
quite
end.
a bit of the rhetoric in early Gamergate.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
And you know what I modeled it out of?
What did you muddle it out of?
Feminism.
Okay, whatever. So moving on
Wait,
from
wait, wait!
that.
No! Let's
Really,
literally-
approach that.
you really wanna
So
go
most of your rhetoric for Gamergate came
Was
from
modeled feminism
Come
itself.
from his idea of what that would be. That's not. I mean,
It's not
Are you
feminism.
serious?
It's a
Oh, it's now magically
perspective.
not feminism, whatever
No,
you
you
think.
don't
I think
know
you don't
what
understand
feminism
enough.
As
is.
well as rhetoric thrown in your face. You don't like it very much, do you?
No, we don't think you know what it is.
yes.
Okay. What is feminism in your words?
No, I don't like playing.
No.
games.
No! We
No,
have
I
been playing
can't-
semantic fuck games all night. You
Come on.
You get to play
Define it.
with this.
Feminism is a belief that the rights of women should be
Why are
equal
you playing
to
with
the
him?
rights of men. I don't know why I'm
Should be
playing it,
equal
but
to
I'll
do
do
this.
it.
men.
I'll do
Right?
it.
Just
Now,
don't.
Yeah.
if it is that's the case, then what is wrong with egalitarians who also believe in equality between men and women?
Because they're dishonest.
Because
because they're dishonest.
No, because they're dishonest.
This is the good part.
They do not believe that the rights of women are equal to the rights of men.
Then a good chunk of
Hey,
feminists do
you're
not
doing
believe in
that
that
thing again
either.
where you're signing positions to the people you disagree with.
You asked me to do that. I
Yes,
didn't
you
stand
asked
up
the
to do it. You
question.
told me to do it.
Okay,
You're
then
gonna ask a question.
if
then
I tell you to jump
choose
off a
the answer.
bridge.
I'll tell you that I don't think that I want to.
Okay. Cool.
If Thidrin asks what I think of this thing, what do you expect?
I expect
it's
you to
silly.
be intellectually honest.
I am being intellectually honest. You asked me what I think of this thing, and I'm telling you.
Actually consider what they think.
I
Actually
am considering
compare
what
it.
they
We've
think.
spent some time on this.
I was very specifically about to tell you what egalitarians think, and I think that they'd agree with me about what they think.
What do
Okay.
egalitarians think?
Finish. Egalitarians believe that the rights of women have already been equal to the rights of men, and as such, maintenance of the status quo is acceptable.
But
So
that's
you think
the
that the
status quo in
status
the
quo must
context
be
of-
changed anyways, right?
I'm sorry?
You believe that the status quo must be changed, and they are more traditionalist. That about to sum it up?
No, I don't like using the word traditionalist there, so no.
They agree with. They think the status quo has equality for men and women.
In the United States of America.
Yeah, in the context of the society that they're coming from and talking about, and
And you believe that it is not equal, and you need to continue to boost women up, correct?
Boost women up? No, that is not accurate.
Okay. You think they need to be equal, right? Where's
I
the
believe-
exact inequalities?
There are inequalities, and they need to be addressed.
Which inequalities?
House of Congress.
That would work.
Okay,
What
how
do
many
you
are
think is
actually
unequal?
running?
Sorry?
What do you
How
think is
many-
unequal?
Sorry.
I mean, there are substantially less women in pretty much every position of authority across the entire country, so there.
So
Okay.
you're thinking there needs to be more representation of women in order to...
No, I'm saying that that is evidence of a problem.
Okay. And what is that problem?
The problem is that there's not equality.
Okay.
Do
but
you
is
think
it
equality requires
of
equal
opportunity
representation?
Or
No,
Okay, I want to hear
Equality
Bitter's
of-
response here.
I think
like equality
I'm sorry,
of
this is-
opportunity or equality of desire?
since I believe that there is no fundamental difference between women and men, I believe
are,
that equality. I disagree with that statement. Since I believe there's no fundamental difference between women and men and their ability to achieve in society.
Okay, I'll
I
agree with
believe-
that.
I believe that equality of opportunity by necessity would lead to equality of outcome.
no, that.
And that's where I
How
disagree.
can you believe that?
Does
I
your dis-
completely
Because I
disagree.
do.
Oh
does your
my god.
dismissal of
Holy
sexual
shit.
dimorphism come vacuum catatresis, or like how do you?
Like
Well, I
Exactly.
believe that women
So-
and men can achieve many things in society. I do not believe that they are one and the same. They are not blank
So
slate.
I guess you're going to argue now. I guess I was too cavalier in saying that. They'll always be worse at women will always be worse than the best men at football. other physical activities along those lines, sure, I accept that sexual dimorphism.
Okay,
Other than that, there should be no substantial difference. Certainly
Okay.
not.
I agree
Well,
with
here's
that.
another example. In the military, they cannot perform as well, even
I'm not
in
gonna get
certain
into that.
situations.
Yeah, I'm not going to address that because that
I'm
does
not going
not
to
seem
address that point.
substantial.
It doesn't seem
No,
relevant.
actually,
One
it does.
question.
This one's
Not gonna
interesting.
address
I don't think that's
Okay, I
substantial.
get the point after Thidrin. Thidrin, make your point.
The point was that there's other issues involving it rather than just physicality. In the case of combat pilots, women can handle more G-forces, but they cannot react as fast as men.
I'm not going to address that because it implies a scientific study that I'm not familiar with.
Okay. Here's my question. So, is this dimorphism strictly of the body, or is it not inextricably linked also to the mind?
Sorry, not a scientist.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's what I
so
expect.
I'm not asking you what you know. I'm asking you what you believe. You've
No,
conceived dimorphism?
this is a knowledge question, so I don't have opinions about facts.
But you still believe certain
You
things.
have plenty of opinions about facts.
No.
Yeah.
I don't have opinions about facts which I'm uninformed about.
Okay.
I just believe I disagree with you saying that. I believe that you have opinions, but you're not willing to share them, which is fine.
It's fine.
No,
We're not grilling you. You know you better than you.
You know what? Now you're a liar. So now you're a liar.
People are opinionated beings. We have that kind of.
This is a meaningless distinction. Let's drop it.
That fact
No,
is
you're
true.
absolutely right. I'm just kind of being a smart ass.
You're being a
So
tool.
you are not contending that dimorphism does not apply to the mind. You are stating a non-position.
I have
dimorphism-
no substantial knowledge about the scientific gender differences in the brain. I understand that it's a field of evolving research which evolves and needs research.
So you do not contend that men think differently than women, or women can.
I have not even remotely enough knowledge about sexual dimorphism in brain.
Okay,
It's a
so
field of evolving research that requires research.
right. So building on that predication that you cannot say that men and women want different things or prioritize things differently as a result of their sexual dimorphism, then is it not reasonable to assume then that perhaps because women are thinking differently than men, they may not be opting for leadership positions?
I think you just assumed as fact what I said I was not willing to assume as fact or not fact.
Okay, but you're not contending against it either.
No, but you just said since I'm not contending for or against it, I must assume it is true, and I will not do that.
Well, you cannot state that it is false.
Yeah, but
But that doesn't make it true.
It's true.
But you proposed that you believe it to be true that the sheer fact that there's a disparity in numbers in and of itself necessarily implies something. You have to believe some other fact that gives rise to that. Or if you don't believe that other fact, what you should say is it's prima facie evidence, but it is not dispositive. There could be psychological reasons that this is true, quite apart from anything else, and it's not a problem.
No, so psychological is a word that I will certainly accept. There certainly are psychological reasons that it is true, and that's absolutely accurate.
Do you think that psychological reasons have environmental and physiological causes?
This particular psychological reason, I am certainly aware that it has environmental causes.
And you're completely ambiguous. You have no opinion on whether or not any of that's physiological in addition to psychological.
I do not have the requisite knowledge to speak about something I do not have the requisite knowledge about.
Okay, but you state that because women and men do not occupy the same position, you are ascribing the cause to...
No, he's just said it's a problem. He didn't state a cause.
Didn't say the cause.
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean,
that's actually fair.
You can probably infer that he thinks that part of it's. You can
Don't
infer
anything. I mean, look, the problem could be that my daughter went to a school, and at that school everyone made her watch Frozen. And my son went to a school, and at that school everyone made him play with trucks.
Okay.
I don't see.
Now, how do you test for that?
That is a really good question. It certainly would require a good sociologist and not a
mindless ideologue.
Not a lawyer banker. So lawyer bankers are going to be unhelpful with that kind of thing.
I'm not aware of a quote unquote good sociologist, but
there's some that are okay.
Some are better than others, but I wouldn't say any of them are good.
Okay.
That's an
Anyhow.
incredibly useless thing to say.
It was a complete waste of everyone's time.
That was a waste.
Making fun
Yeah.
of
But anyways,
Anyway. So.
now, one other thing I'd like to say
10:30.
about feminism, just one.
Oh, okay.
Just because you have your branch of feminism does not mean you get to speak for all of feminism.
I don't get to speak for anyone but myself, I believe.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
wait,
why have you
what?
been speaking for all of feminism
When have I ever been doing that?
throughout the stream?
Well,
I
you positively
completely
claim.
challenge that.
Hey, quick
Let
question.
him finish.
Evie.
Let him-
Okay.
Go ahead.
When have I ever spoken for anyone but myself?
Whenever
You
you're
have-
making claims on
When you
feminism, and
accused Justicar of being a neo-reactionary, you were speaking.
Well, I mean, he is a neo-reactionary, so we'll move on past that.
Even though he's explicitly stated to the contrary. Justicar, would
Has
you
he,
classify
has,
yourself
he at this point denied being a neo-reactionary?
What I have said is that when you asked me the question, it was gibberish, and I still maintain that it's gibberish. However, on the proviso that what you mean by it is something like a person who is right-wing or whatever, then clearly that's false, because there are many causes of the left that I'm
That was,
happy.
if that was a very long no, it would be a lot easier for you to say no. I am not a neo-reactionary.
Well,
he
again,
doesn't know what you even mean by it.
as I mentioned at the close of the last one, and I gave my closing remarks, one of the reasons that I'm very cautious about affirming or denying agreement with or rejection of a label is because whenever you do that, you always have the chance for someone to go, oh, well, here is this small group who are offshoots of it, or they're somehow sent blah, and then you have to spend a lot of time explaining it, when I think it's much easier.
Do you
Just to-
identify as a neo-reactionary?
No.
Well, there we go.
So simple.
Anyhow,
It's much easier and much more intellectually honest.
So to
by the
be
way.
clear, someone who is a neo-reactionary identifies as a neo-reactionary.
I don't know that that's true.
It is absolutely true.
okay,
Wait.
but you just called him a neo-reactionary, and then he didn't identify as a
So
neo-reactionary.
obviously I was wrong.
There you go.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, but I
Anyway.
also don't know that it's true that neo-reactionaries identify themselves as that. I mean,
See,
they may or may not.
do this anymore. This is stupid.
Yes, anyway, can I, Justicar, you're good? Cool, buddy.
It's
Now
your
he is.
hangout.
Okay, so, stating earlier, you just said you only speak for yourself, and you
Yes.
classify yourself as a feminist.
I
Now,
did.
if, for whatever reason, you are in opposition to normal feminist rhetoric, are
I'm
you still a
not.
feminist? Okay,
It's
but
But
It's a
you
hypothetical.
Are. There are other feminists.
Well, I could say I don't respond to hypotheticals, so I'll go with that.
okay.
You've demanded a lot of hypothetical information from a lot of people.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but saying that he's not consistent doesn't mean doesn't say anything.
Yeah. All the same. So, by that same metric, you still only speak for you, not a movement you embody. Then why do Gamergaters who threaten people embody Gamergate?
No, you see, the thing is that Gamergate is defined by the people who define themselves as Gamergaters. And many of the people who define themselves as Gamergaters are misogynistic terrorists. And as such, Gamergate is a movement with a vast number of misogynistic terrorists.
You say vast. What do you mean, like 10, 15, 300,000,
Hundreds.
25?
Literally
Hundreds. Whenever there is hundreds of thousands involved in it. That's kind of interesting.
What percentage
though
of
earlier
misogynistic
you were-
terrorists do you allow to occupy your movement?
Even though earlier you
Assuming-
were just contending that there were hundreds of sock puppet makers. So,
Wait,
can
I don't
you
think I
actually
ever said that.
effectively
I don't think
differentiate
I
each
ever said
one?
that.
Bitter, that's
I
not
don't think
true.
I ever said that.
That's a different one.
That's
Okay.
not true. We didn't say there were
Right.
hundreds of sock puppet makers.
Right,
They're
you said
saying
that
the
there were
orphans are
hundreds of
not
sock
to shield
puppets.
with marred from sock puppets.
I don't think we said that either.
I don't think we said that.
I don't know. I don't know that the question is quite sharp enough. How many Americans have to be terrorists before I should say I'm no longer an American?
You're unable to be no longer an American, and I think that the level of terrorism that's required to leave a movement is very different than the level and type of terrorism that's required to distance yourself from your citizenship.
Okay.
Why should that be true?
Well, because a movement is something that you opt to join, and your citizenship confers and involves substantial other effects. So
Okay.
saying I'm no longer a Gamergator doesn't actually imply any negative repercussions to yourself, but saying I'm no longer an American has a number of tack-on, follow-on negative repercussions.
I tell you what, then. You're no longer a feminist. What do you think the reaction's going to be?
Well, I mean, you don't have the ability to tell me what I am and am not.
No, you decide why you are not a feminist.
That is rich.
You are not a feminist. What do you think the backlash is going to be if you suddenly state that?
There would be absolutely no backlash.
So there's no backlash if you say I'm not a feminist.
None whatsoever.
Okay.
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 No,
I just wanted to point that part out.
I like it.
Leaves his social group. Will not ostracize
Yeah,
him.
you're no longer my favorite anti-Gamergate.
Guys, my social group is not a bunch of feminists. To be clear, like
I'm not talking about the social group, though.
I don't hang out with a bunch of feminists. I thought it was pretty clear what I did for a living. There aren't a lot of feminists who I do that with. My social and peer group does nothing and lives a life that's entirely different from the social and moral life that I live.
Okay.
So if you go to your Atheism Plus forums and you say I reject feminism, no consequences?
I mean, they'll probably kick me off the forums, but I don't really care all that much.
Hey.
Check your privilege. Check your privilege.
Well,
The point that we're getting
I don't
here is
need
that-
to check my privilege. My privilege is massive. I literally am the most privileged person many of you have probably ever spoken with.
I doubt that is so.
I actually believe that. I truly, fundamentally believe that.
I got 3 Ivy League degrees, guys. This is the pinnacle of privilege you're talking to right now.
Did you foot the bill?
I own privilege.
If you didn't foot the bill, yeah. But
That's
I still believe it.
racist.
What?
But no, it's not racist. It's classist.
That's racist.
Classist,
It's
not racist. Okay.
Come on, you have to admit that's funny though. That's racist.
Just call him Dark. Let's just call him Dark Raider.
No.
Okay. It's like 10:36 my end, and it's probably later for all of you.
Pretty much.
So, I'm gonna call this. We'll meet up again. Why am I in a closet?
He needs to come out of the closet.
Homosexual, and I haven't copped to it yet.
I'll be right over to help you.
Well, literally me saying that I was the most privileged person you've ever met and noting that I have ridiculously too many academic degrees left you all in the lurch? Shocker.
No.
One of them came from UPenn.
No, you already acknowledged that you're a highly privileged individual, especially the privilege that just about all of us would agree on. Well,
One of them came from UPenn, so it's kind of a shitty Ivy. Does that count? Can I be deprivileged now?
you're actually
Okay,
able to go to
I'm
college and
jerking
afford it.
So hard. right
Yeah,
now.
you're already privileged in comparison to me. So, yeah. Okay, guys.
Anyhow, I'm gonna call this stream. So, shit. The chat's probably been going insane. Now, I haven't been keeping it
Ooh,
out.
how do we even look at the chat? I don't even know where that is.
Oh, fuck
I
me.
forgot about that.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Let's chat.
You have to open
there
up
a
your
chat?
YouTube. I think you have to open up your YouTube channel and look at it there.
I
Make sure
got
you
that. Where do I go now?
Oh, here we go. Oh my god. Okay,
We're in
I'm
big trouble.
reading.
many viewers?
Where's our
21
chat?
viewers.
Where is it?
Oh, sorry guys. One second.
No,
I'm
link
posting
to
in
the chat.
Yeah.
Hey guys, who's up for a third stream?
I'm fucking
Let's
not.
roll. Lols. I don't even know
Okay,
how these damn things
Kevin.
work.
Kevin just linked to it. Wow. Wow. Oh god.
Someone just copy pasted the Navy SEALs. God damn it.
Fucking Navy SEALs. Fucking Navy SEALs. Ugh, gotta use Drew rifle. Fucking Christ. Anyway, it was an illuminating conversation, gentlemen.
Yeah.
1 second, AGG, you get first. Goodbye.
Oh, I'm going to put a link here.
No, I'm busy reading the chat. There's probably something really important in here.
Yeah, I gotta go over this.
If you missed the chat, there's
Rosa
the link.
Parks, a knife.
Yeah. Okay. AGG said, "Chat Hilltop." What? Any words to the audience?
Absolutely not. Have a great night, everybody.
Kevin. Kevin has his mic off. Magic. You want to say
Nothing
anything?
else to say.
Listen, to be clear, the 3 degrees are an undergraduate degree, a law degree that I got for real, and a business school degree that I got at nights and weekends.
Yeah, the fact that you can even afford it is a major privilege.
Well, the third one. The third one.
We're
The
not
fact
really
that you can go to
contending whether or
college,
not it is a
period.
privilege. He admits to it.
The second
Everybody
one
is
was
privileged.
loans,
Tim.
and the third one wasn't paid for by me.
Anyway, Tim.
You can afford it,
Final words?
period.
Yeah. Nope, not really. Have a good night.
Okay, Jessica.
I'm very shy and retiring. I never have anything to say.
Okay.
I will get you out of your shell.
Well, I want to be in that closet with you. We can come out together.
We'll have a good old time with little Jebediah here, and maybe a sea lion. Yeah.
No sea lioning. No sea lioning.
Pardon me, couldn't help over here.
I
Thindrin.
think he'd rather spoon.
Big spoon or little spoon?
I'm like
Probably-
6'4", dude. I gotta be big
Probably the
spoon.
little spoon.
You've got me by a foot and some change.
You are not 6'4". I've stood next to you.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Fickle. I can dead name you.
No, don't do that.
That would be horrible.
Yeah, don't do that.
Only not because I'm nobody of consequence.
You'll have to wade through a mountain of shit. Anyway, thanks everybody for showing up.
Take it easy.
All right, bye, guys.
Yeah, that was fun.